Is going on now at Staples. During Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $150 on select office and desk chairs. And when you buy a chair, you save 25% on desks, storage solutions, and office accessories. Plus, your local Staples now accepts Amazon returns. And when you return an Amazon order at Staples, you receive a coupon for $10 off your next $30 Staples purchase. Now is definitely the time to save at Staples. Chair offer ends 10/28, in-store only. Exclusions apply on Amazon offer.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Hey, in New York, right now I'm looking at all of the unders for Jets' offensive numbers. Passing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards. I'm looking at all of the unders in New York. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win, FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the long clocks, morning, take the 8:15 into the city.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Sports 56 Mornings. It is the Tuesday, October 24th, 2023 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. The Overstock sale continues. All types of amazing deals at Family Leisure. Check them out at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. The first hour of the program also brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware. We are a week away from Halloween and 8 days, I guess, officially from the start of November. Time is flying by as we're hopefully having a little bit of fun. We got a busy show for you. I'll give you the lineup in just a moment. First of all, if you're getting ready to head out of your house, 70 degrees. Wow, 70 degrees already. We're looking at a high today of 83 with intervals of clouds and sunshine. Tonight, a few clouds with a low of 64. Could be very windy tonight with gusts predicted to be up to 30 miles per hour. Then intervals of clouds and sunshine tomorrow with a high of 82. Coming up at 7:30, our buddy Drew Hill will join us. Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian. The NBA season begins tonight with a TNT doubleheader. The Grizzlies begin tomorrow against the Pelicans at home at FedEx Forum. And, of course, the big news, the loss of Steven Adams for the season. What will the Grizzlies do? We'll talk to Drew about that. At 8:05, Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC. What is going to happen, if anything, for the tour in 2024 with this whole situation with LIV and everything that's been talked about over the last, 8-9 months? They have a deadline with the deal December something is the deadline. Will it come and go? What's going on with that? Also, kind of a look back at the Ryder Cup. I know Steve Sands was kind of right in the middle of the controversy. We will discuss that with him at 8:05. At 8:25, Jeff Crane, University of Memphis Deputy AD. At 9:05, Rich Duncan will join us for our weekly Rhodes football segment. They lost an incredibly entertaining game, 50-49, at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock last Saturday to Hendricks. We'll talk about his decision to go for 2 at the end of the game as opposed to trying to kick the extra point, tie the game, and send it into overtime. And then at 9:25, we'll talk all things college football with Blake Topmeyer, SEC columnist for USA Today Network. We got Humdinger's Trivia that'll come your way at about 8:05. We'll also give you the topic for tomorrow's 5 favorite things. So a loaded show. And, of course, you can hit us up on the Sports 56 listener lines. You can call in. There's not a lot of open time, but certainly when we have open time, please call in. But you could always text in. We love reading your text. 901-360-8255 is the Sports 56 listener lines. You could also message us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or on the website at sportsmemphis.com. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Very good.
You can't ask for more with baseball in the playoffs. A Game 7 last night between Houston and Texas. I guess you could ask that the game was more competitive. But then you also have a Game 7 between my Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Arizona goes into Philly yesterday, wins. I'm sweating it out, Eli. So Game 7 today in Philadelphia. But the Texas Rangers, the Bruce Bochy mystique, they are in the World Series.
Yeah, last night, overall, and just kind of the world of sports was a lot of what makes sports great is and why sports are really hard to bet on and people don't make a lot of money betting on sports. It's just it's just crazy. Like you look at the thing, especially Major League Baseball is so hard to predict game to game because you just don't know, and that's what is amazing. Like there was no reason to believe the Diamondbacks would win a game in Philadelphia. Like you just looked at this, the pitching matchup favored Philadelphia. Philadelphia has been dominant at home. They've just, they've killed the baseball there. Like everything pointed to Philadelphia winning it. And then lo and behold, here comes Arizona. They get 3 runs early. They're hitting home runs off Aaron Nola, and they pretty much cruise to a win. Merrill Kelly looks like, a Cy Young Award winner suddenly, and they end up just cruising to a win. Like, okay. And then in the Game 7, you've got Christian Javier on the mound for Houston, who has been like a postseason wizard. The dude in his previous postseason starts, in 4 starts, had given up a total of 5 hits, and he gives up 4 hits in the first inning and gets 1 person out, and he's out of the game. And you're like, how? How does this happen? Like, why suddenly does this happen? And it's just, it's crazy. And that series to end up with the road team winning every single game. Baseball's a bizarre sport. Then you turn to the NFL. No reason whatsoever to believe that the Vikings would beat the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers get McCaffrey's playing. He's healthy. Everything else, you're like, okay, like this. Yeah, they don't have Deebo Samuel, but still, like this is the Vikings who have struggled all year long. Certainly the 49ers will take care of business here. Suddenly Kirk Cousins looks amazing. And here goes Jordan Addison going crazy. And the Vikings get a win. It's what makes sport great, because just when you think you have it figured out, you do not have anything figured out. And it's just crazy to see some of these outcomes and things that happen because they're played by humans, and you don't know how things are going to go for people. And it's like last night was just a bizarre night.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you a perfect example. Our buddy Steve texts me yesterday, and for some reason he says, let's bet this Monday night game. He says, I'll take the Vikings. You could have the 49ers. 49ers were -7. You could have the 49ers straight up. Too good to be true. I said, absolutely. I go, why do you want to lose? I remember texting him that with a little laugh emoji. I owe him lunch.
Right.
I owe him lunch.
Good move on his part.
man, oh man, I don't know what he knew, but, Deebo Samuel was out, so people are saying, Deebo Samuel's out, and that's the difference maker. Look at Brock Purdy now. Brock Purdy threw 2 interceptions. The Vikings had him dialed in. They played him extremely well. Was Deebo Samuel the difference maker in that game? I don't think so. I think San Francisco still should have won the game even without Deebo Samuel. Christian McCaffrey did play. He scored a touchdown again. In fact, he had 2 touchdowns. He has scored a touchdown in 16 straight games. But defensively, the 49ers were not the 49ers. And as you said, Addison and amazing Cousins, who I think is a good quarterback. And Troy Aikman has him as a top 10 quarterback. I'm not sure if he's that high on my list, but he's up there. I mean, he's much maligned for I don't know what reason, but he's a pretty good quarterback. But they still shouldn't have won that football game. So you're absolutely right. And then as far as the baseball playoffs are concerned, okay, if the Diamondbacks win today over the Phillies, then you're talking about going into Philadelphia, as you said, where it's almost impossible for visiting teams in the postseason. That crowd is incredible. For Arizona to do that, if they do that today, I mean, all I can do is cry a little bit and then tip my cap. But they got it to Game 7, win 5-1 yesterday. You mentioned Merrill Kelly, 5 innings. He gets pulled up 4-1 after sitting down the meat of the order, the heart of the order, and he was not happy with Torey Lovello for being pulled. But it is what it is in this day and age of baseball with starting pitchers and relievers that only go an inning. But they are getting clutch hitting. Ketel Marte has hit in every single game in the postseason in his career. So he's got, a 15-game postseason hitting streak now?
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. So we'll see what happens today. It'll be a night game, Citizens Bank Park. On the flip side, again, as you mentioned, the road team winning all 7 games in the Texas-Houston series. Now, I had forgotten because my short-term memory is horrible, but I put it out on X. I said, when was the last time, or did it happen ever, that a visiting team won all 7 games in a best-of-7 Major League Baseball playoff series? It was 2019. The Astros was only a few years ago, so it has happened. I don't understand that, but the story within the story, Adolis Garcia, who once played for the Memphis Redbirds. He's hit a home run in 4 straight postseason games, 5 total over those 4 games, including 2 last night. Of course, he was the victim of the hit by pitch by Brian Abreu, whose 2-game suspension was pushed back to next season. So he actually pitched in this game, pitched in Game 6 as well. And now it's over for him because obviously Houston lost. But my, oh my, what a story, Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, and could have had 3 last night. Came very close in the first inning. He thought was going to be a home run, but just didn't hit it high enough. But he is, he is. You talk about locked in. The dude is absolutely crushing the ball right now in that offense. When it gets rolling, is very dangerous. They got a lot of guys who can pound the baseball. Seager, gets it started with the home run.
He had a great game.
Locked in completely. And Bruce Bochy knows what he's doing. Never lost a Game 7. Dusty Baker still has never won a Game 7. But yeah, the Rangers are a weird team. When they get hot, they are that offense. You think you can never get them out, and then they go through stretches where they get it. Nobody hits. It seems like that. But boy, the last couple of games, they are in one of those things. And again, I mean, Javier, that's just, dude, 5 hits in 4 starts, and then gives up 4 hits to the first 5 hitters he faces.
Yeah, go figure.
It just. That is not anything that could be predicted, that suddenly that guy can't get anybody out in the postseason when he has been absolutely unbelievable in the postseason.
And no matter what happens tonight between the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, the Texas Rangers will host Game 1 Friday night in Arlington to begin the Fall Classic. The NBA begins tonight with 2 games on TNT, starting with the defending champion Nuggets hosting the Lakers. Denver a 4.5-point favorite. That'll be at 6:30 Central Time. And then the Suns at the Warriors. That should be fun. 9 o'clock TNT. Phoenix is a 1-point favorite. The Grizzlies will open up tomorrow night against the New Orleans Pelicans. Grizzlies a 1.5-point favorite. The team did announce yesterday that they have exercised the 2024-25 options on Zaire Williams, Santi Aldama, Jake LaRavia, and David Roddy. But again, the question is, what will the Grizzlies do, if anything, about the void that has been left with the injury to Steven Adams? I was looking at some win totals. This is from CBS Sports, and this is after the news of Steven Adams out for the season with the injury. I'm not sure what the total was before his injury. I would imagine it was adjusted. They have the Grizzlies at 45.5 wins, which is the 10th most in the NBA. You think about it, the last 2 years, they were second in the West. So obviously they've dropped down a bit, but still 10th, which is not too bad. And as far as Western Conference teams, they got the Nuggets ahead, Suns, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers. They only have 5 teams ahead of the Grizzlies. As I said yesterday, I still think it's going to be really, really tough to get to the top 6. I don't think it's impossible, depending on what moves they make. But I think it's more probable that they finish as a play-in team this year. So 45.5, I haven't really broke it down. What would that mean as far as what do you need to get to really be in the top 6? It probably is right around that number. I might go under on that one, but I think that's pretty tight. I think that's a pretty good prediction for what they have, not knowing what moves will be made.
Yeah, we'll see what route they go to fill that hole left by Steven Adams. And again, you don't know what other injuries or things that will happen, that inevitably will happen to the Grizzlies as well as other teams around the NBA, and how many games guys miss, all of that stuff. So, but I think, I think they'll still be very much in competition for a playoff spot. I would probably lean towards them getting into the playoffs still, even without him, but it certainly is not a certainty. Could very well see them in the play-in rather than in the playoffs, but I think they're still certainly a good enough team to be in the playoff chase throughout the season and could very well end up in the playoffs without having to go through the play-in.
Big NBA news yesterday. Giannis Antetokounmpo signs a 3-year max extension with the Bucks for $186 million.
It's pretty good work if you could find it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it's hard to fathom. Like, it just really is hard to fathom $62 million a year to play basketball. I mean, we're starting to approach, especially when you consider like how many games guys will miss. Like, we're getting to the point where it's like $1 million a game. Like, we're kind of getting that. We're getting close because guys are, guys generally play 65, 70 games a year. We're starting to approach where literally guys are making $1 million per game
to play basketball.
It is great. I mean, again, the money keeps rolling in for these teams. The TV deals continue to go up, and the players are getting their share of it. And certainly, Giannis is very much worthy of that. But obviously, the Damian Lillard deal satisfied him, and after he had talked about the fact that he wanted to make sure they were putting the right pieces around him before he committed to them. Obviously, Lillard satisfied that. He's now committed to the Bucks. There was a time a few years ago where people wondered, could the Bucks keep Giannis because of the Milwaukee market, everything else? Obviously, they have done that and now locked him up even longer. He's happy there. It goes back to the Grizzlies and being able to keep superstars, all of that, these small market teams. The way the league is set up now, it gives you this advantage to be able to do these deals. And, man, $186 million over 3 years is... Whew.
Could he have gotten more if he waited till next offseason?
I
know it's a max deal here, but I thought I heard he could have made more if he waited.
I don't know for sure. Because this will be when this kid. I don't know if this is like an estimated. I think it will be based on what the salary cap actually is. I don't know I don't know for exactly how that works.
Well, he'll be 32 when this contract ends. So you got to think, unless, God forbid, he gets hurt, there's another big contract coming for him. He is going to be an extremely rich man. He already is, but extremely rich when it's all said and done. And all he wanted was support from the team. Is the team willing to go out there and get players? And they have been willing, even though they're a small market, to go out there and get players. Now, there's no guarantee. Again, Lillard will be here for the long haul. but he will at least be under contract. He's happy. He's got a smile on his face. He always seems to play with a smile on his face. Good news for a small market team like the Milwaukee Bucks. In other news from around the sports world, University of Memphis got news yesterday that their homecoming game versus the University of South Florida will be a 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, November 4th. That'll be on ESPN+. So the Tigers will play in Denton this Saturday, Denton, Texas, against North Texas, 2 o'clock. And then the following Saturday, the homecoming game against USF, also 2 o'clock. From the NFL, the Eagles, according to reports, are acquiring two-time All-Pro defensive back Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans for a 2024 fifth-round pick, 2024 sixth-round pick, and safety Terrell Edmonds. Is this going to be some sort of spring cleaning from the Tennessee Titans?
Certainly wouldn't be surprising. I don't know that they have real high aspirations of where this season is headed, so they've got some valuable players. They could go into complete rebuild mode. Probably not a bad idea for them to go into complete rebuild mode. And Byard's a heck of a player, so certainly I'm sure there was a lot of teams that were very interested in that. It's a heck of a pickup for an already really good team in the Eagles.
According to reports, your boy Todd Haley will not be returning to the Showboats as head coach. No news as to who would replace him, but that was something I thought that was rumored. We've talked about it, but it was somebody from a reporter who covers extensively the USFL said that, yes, he will definitely not be coming back.
Yeah, it has been pretty much a known thing that he probably would not be coming back. I don't know what he wants to do, if he's still planning on coaching or if he wants to get back in the NFL or what, but it had become pretty well known. I guess that's pretty much the end of last season that he probably would not be back, at least here, coaching in the USFL.
So you don't know if that was their decision or his decision?
My understanding, it was kind of a joint decision. I don't know that he really wanted to be back, and I'm not sure that really they wanted him back. That's why I think it was just kind of a thing of that it was kind of agreed to that, like, yeah, not that they were like, we got to get rid of him and anything like that. I think they were fine with him not being back.
Okay.
And Carnell Lake, who was the defensive coordinator, is a name that has been talked about as a possibility, although I think there's still an idea if Pittsburgh has a team in the new league, and especially if they're headquartered in Pittsburgh, that possibly they would maybe take Carnell Lake if he was going to be a head coach of the league and put him in Pittsburgh because he's pretty much a legend in Pittsburgh, so it would go over well there. So I don't know. It's but I would love for Carnell Lake to be the head coach here. Carnell's obviously a great player, but really, really nice guy. Fun talking to him last season and getting to know him. And I think he certainly knows defense, and I think it'd be pretty cool for him to get a chance as a head coach.
And one other note before we take our first time out from the timing is everything category. Yesterday, as you guys recall, I talked glowingly about Kevin Sumlin, but I talked about Kevin Sumlin, the coach. I always have thought he was a good coach, and I still think he's a good football coach, but this is not good. Kevin Sumlin, for those who don't know, is the co-offensive coordinator at the University of Maryland, arrested for DUI over the weekend down in Florida. It was a bye week for the Maryland Terrapins. He got away, went back home to the Tampa area, and got arrested for DUI.
Not good for Kevin.
How crazy is that? Yesterday, out of the blue, when's the last time I've spoken about Kevin Sumlin? Several years ago. All of a sudden, I'm talking about Kevin Sumlin, and then boom, later in the day, find out about the arrest of Kevin Sumlin. So I'm not sure what will happen, whether or not he will be let go. Haven't heard word one from Mike Loxley, their head coach. So we'll see what happens as far as Maryland is concerned and as far as Kevin Sumlin is concerned. Well, as I said, we got a huge show today. Drew Hill will join us at 7:30. Steve Sands at 8:05 from the Golf Channel on NBC. Jeff Crane from the University of Memphis at 8:25. Rich Duncan, the Rhodes football head coach, 9:05 during our Rhodes Athletics segment. And then Blake Topmeyer from USA Today at 9:25. 25. Folks, if you're looking for a fun place to play golf, you haven't had a chance to play Meadowbrook Country Club because there's been a country club, a private country club, since 1959, but no more. It is now semi-private and open to the public. Located at 1250 West Broadway in West Memphis, Arkansas. It's been a jewel for years and years and years, and sort of a hidden jewel, right? Because unless you're a country club member at Meadowbrook, you haven't been able to play that course. It's a challenging layout, Bermuda greens, and now you can play as a daily fee course. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, $59 and tax, and that includes the cart to play a country club course. Here's the number you need to call, 870-394-4186 to set up a tee time, 870-394-4186. Talk to my buddy Mark Bartlett. He's the pro out there. He could take down your tee time. He could also give you a lesson if you're looking to improve your golf game. Mark was on the tour. He could also fit you for Shrixon clubs. He's only one of 3 in the entire area that can do that with Shrixon. So give Mark a call again at 870-394-4186. Less than 15 minutes from Midtown or downtown, and an easy trip from anywhere in the tri-state area. And if you still want to become a member of that country club, you can for $350 per month. That includes golf and tennis, pickleball, great swimming pool, terrific restaurant and bar as well. It's Meadowbrook Country Club, 1250 West Broadway, West Memphis, Arkansas, 870-394-4186.
Texter texted in and said, you pay Giannis $62 million a year plus what Lillard makes, doesn't leave much left for the other 13. Well, depends if Milwaukee is willing to pay luxury tax and what they're willing to do. But no, when you're talking over $100 million for 2 guys, it's a lot for 2.
It's a lot for 2, but if you can get solid players, do well with the draft, and these guys can come through, these young players, what do you need? You have Giannis and Lillard. Again, we don't know if Lillard's going to stay there long term. But you got Giannis and you got Lillard. You get serviceable players around them. You can win a championship. You don't have to have the 3 studs every time. That doesn't always work. That's a pretty good nucleus to have if you have Giannis and you have Lillard.
Man, but if they might be willing to pay luxury tax. I don't know. I don't know what Milwaukee ownership wants to do. If they're willing to pay luxury tax, well, they'll still be able to spend some money on other guys, but I just don't know what their plans are. But yes, over $100 million for 2 players on your team is a lot on the surface. And the cap's going to keep going up because the TV money keeps going in.
Cap will go up. Hey, I'm not paying the money. That's the ownership group. If they're willing, like you said, to pay a luxury tax, more power to them. When we come back, what's going on with the Grizzlies as we get ready for opening day? Drew Hill will join us from the Daily Memphian. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 at 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, this is Jonah Gamble, left guard from the University of Memphis football team. Is your credit card rewarding you for everyday purchases? Southern Security has a perfect low-interest reward card that will upgrade your wallet. Max rate is 18%, no annual fees, no cash advance fees. For more information, visit southernsecurity.org or by calling our member service team at 901-452-7900. Southern Security is a proud sponsor of the University of Memphis.
Response to the all-new Genesis Diamonds has been incredible. People are loving what we've brought to Memphis. Genesis is a different kind of jewelry store with more jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. What people really love about Genesis is the transparency, the education. Genesis is revealing all the long-held secrets of the diamond industry. We'll teach you how to buy like a dealer buys, how to understand the ways diamonds are priced by the wholesalers, how slight variations in size and clarity can translate into thousands in savings passed along to you. At Genesis, our non-commissioned diamond experts are here to guide you every step of the way. Our diamond education will make you a better, more informed consumer. Even if you don't buy from us, we'll make you a more dangerous shopper when you visit other places. Discover the Genesis difference, forever changing how people in Memphis buy diamonds and fine jewelry. Now open at Poplar & Perkins, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Sports and blinds, they just go together. And right now, all Sports 56 listeners get $50 off any order at Blinds Etc. South. Real wood, 3.5 to 4.5 inch plantation shutters made in the Mid-South are always affordable at Blinds Etc. South. And now get $50 off your order. Get your free in-home consultation at 901-681-0225 or go to blindsetcetera.southllc.com. Upgrade your home with custom-made plantation shutters and window treatments from Blinds Etc. South.
I feel good shopping at Drive Max. Drive Max, Drive Max, you get value.
Need a car that screams I feel good? Drive Max has it all. From cars to SUVs, find a tightly inspected used car that'll have you dancing all the way home. Call 901-664-2424 or visit DriveMaxApproval.com.
Drive Max, I got approved.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. They're wrapping up an accident at Hollywood and James. Traffic's picked up just a bit out here the last few minutes coming in from Fayette County on 40 westbound. Coming past 269, dodging a few rain showers out here this morning just to play it safe. Give yourself a little bit of extra travel time. Hey, there's an adventure around every corner at the Memphis Zoo. Check out all their events that's going on. Log on to memphiszoo.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:30 the time. Hour number 1 here on Sports 56 Mornings. Happy opening day in the NBA. Just 2 games tonight, but should be a couple of good ones. Lakers, Nuggets, Suns, Warriors. And then the season begins in earnest tomorrow, including the Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans. We're very pleased to be joined by the terrific Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian, Drew Hill, who you can follow on Twitter at DrewHill_DM. And he joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Thanks for getting up early for us, Drew. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, fellas. How are you?
Doing good. Is Zach Kleiman going to speak at all in this Steven Adams deal?
No. The Grizzlies are pretty set on what Zach Kleiman does as far as media goes. He talks before the season, he talks at the trade deadline, and he talks at the end of the season and then the draft. And that is all 4 of the Zach Kleiman media availabilities. So I would not expect to hear from him, on this matter, at least.
Man a few words. Get him a couple of times. But Taylor Jenkins does speak an awful lot, and I think you had a chance to talk with him yesterday. What did he say about the situation with Adams' injury and where the team goes from here?
He said, well, as far as like what they might do roster-wise, he essentially just said, I'm going to have to get with Zach, and I'm going to have to try to figure out what the best course of action here is for us. If you look, like I wrote something the other day about all of the different mechanisms really that they can use to try to add another big to this roster. And the bottom line is, though, like, it's to use one of the exceptions, to use most of the, like, mid-level exception, to use most of the, the biannual exception, any of that stuff. They're probably not going to do that because it hard caps them at the first apron. All you need to know about that is that it limits the amount of money that they can spend on players in a given season. So you're not going to want to do that, especially not this early in the season. I think if you start with once Ja goes on the suspended list, you put a big on this team that you think might be just a stopgap for the short term, and then you look for a trade long term at the deadline. Like, to me, that makes the most sense, like, of all. And I think, or maybe it's not even quite the deadline. Maybe it's a little bit earlier in the season. But, right now, people know you're desperate for a big, too. Like, the price is going up. So I think that's likely what you'll see. And then as far as, like, on the court, it just comes down to other guys stepping up. Like, X is going to be your starter. No, he can't do everything that Steven Adams can do on the court. Of course, like, Steven Adams is the best rebounder in the NBA, so you don't just replace that. It doesn't work that easily. And yes, it has to be a collective unit, but, like, I thought Marcus Smart was pretty dang honest yesterday, basically saying, Jaron, we're looking at you, dude. Like, it's time we rebound a little bit better. Like, we got to step up here. And we know you're capable of doing it, and we know it's going to be hard, and we know it's not going to be perfect all the time, and that's not going to be the expectation. But we just have to be better, and you're our best big. So, the challenge is on. You have to do more now. And I think that's kind of the right attitude to take in this situation.
As far as Adams is concerned, do you have any idea, like, how we got here? Like, over the summer, what was going on? Was he seeing doctors? If so, what doctors was he seeing? Were the Grizzlies getting reports that it was healing okay? Like, how did we go from a 3 to 5 week injury to now missing basically 2 seasons?
I think in terms of, like, the details of all of that, you're never really going to know exactly what the medical reports look like. But I think it seems rather simple to at least get to the point where you're in the middle of the summer, because Steven Adams wanted to play last season. Like, he wanted to finish the season. He wanted to play in the playoffs. So, like, I can't get behind the conspiracy theory of, well, why didn't he have surgery in February or March? Well, it's easy to know why, because most of the time, the course of action here, and I think you've seen some doctors say this, is, like, most of the time, you're better off going the rehabilitation route. So, like, it was never said, like, he has to have surgery. So, of course, he's going to hold out. They're going to see how it heals for a little bit. They want to leave the door open at the slight chance that he can play in the playoffs. Well, looked like more than a slight chance, but it ended up being a slim chance he could play in the playoffs. And then you get to this summer, and, it's a little bit more understandable to me at that point. It's like, well, how long are we going to wait to see if this rehabilitation takes? Clearly, they felt like they could wait all the way up to the start of the season, and it is true. At that point, it really doesn't matter whether you have surgery now or you had surgery in July or whatever, because you're going to miss the whole season anyway. And he tried to give it a go, and very clearly the best option would have been to have surgery back then. But a franchise can't, there's a lot of different, factors in play here. Like, you can't force anybody to have surgery.
Right.
You can't make a decision if along these lines. Like, you can't say we're going to take the surgery route when the best option might be rehabilitation, and the doctors aren't telling you that the player needs to have surgery. Like, you kind of leave it up in the air, right? The players get to make these decisions. Like, that's just behind the scenes on what the NBA looks like, not necessarily what this situation looked like. But there's just a lot of different avenues here that they could have taken. They tried to take the path that was going to get Steven on the court the fastest, and it turned out to be, in hindsight, the wrong path. But you know what? Like, I think that he would, I think that Steven Adams and, the Grizzlies as a franchise would probably try the same thing all over again because there was never a clear path. So that's why we're here. It was mostly the result of, let's try to get him on the court in the playoffs and be competitive. And now we're at a situation where, he's not going to play a whole another season.
Yeah, certainly lastly, I understand the idea, they did the stem cell deal or whatever, trying to get him. But the thing is, what's really confusing me, again, over the summer, I would like to know what he was being told, what they were being told. But he arrives here. They say he's cleared to play. He says, well, he was kind of weird about it, but then he plays in preseason games. Did he think at that time he was going to be fine to play the season? And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, whatever it is, they're, nope, you're done. You got to have surgery. That's what's really bizarre is this preseason where he actually plays. I didn't think he aggravated anything during those games. Maybe he did. And then all of a sudden they're like, nope, shut down for the year surgery.
Yeah, no, I think that this point you're bringing up now, that is the most interesting part of the entire preseason process for me, because you're right. And it was just so bizarre that Steven from the beginning was the least confident, because it's usually the exact opposite, right? It's usually the coach and the GM are saying, we got to be careful. And the player's like, no, I'm good. Yeah. Get me out there. I'm good. But it was the exact opposite of that. It was the coach saying he's good. It was the GM saying, well, we think he's good. And it was the Steven Adams saying it would be irresponsible to think that I could play in a full NBA game right now. That, in hindsight, was pretty dang telling. And they said, he's throwing his weight around in practice. He looks great. His teammates were like, he looks great. You would ask Taylor Jenkins about the starting five, and he would mention Steven Adams as if he was a starter, like he was a pencil him in. He's a starter. And you ask Luke Kennard, what's the reason for optimism this season? And he says, Steven Adams.
Right.
He's back on the court.
Right.
And here we are 2 days before the season, and Steven Adams is not going to be back on the court. And I think it was, honestly, it's Steven Adams' thing. If Steven Adams' knee does not feel stable enough to play, then he's just going to have to have
play.
surgery.
Yeah, and he's not going to want to play when it doesn't feel stable. Drew Hill joining us, Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian. You can follow him on Twitter at @DrewHill_DM. Okay, along those lines here, we have a season that begins tomorrow. There is no Steven Adams. Brandon Clark, maybe you get him for the latter part of the season. Maybe you don't. Who knows? Ja's out for the first 25 games. They're probably going to start Zaire Williams. You got a new guy they're integrating, Marcus Smart, who's played one preseason game. Sell me on this Grizzlies team making the playoffs.
I think that this is a proven system. Taylor Jenkins, no matter who's been in or out of the lineup, it has worked over the last two seasons. It just has. And I think that before the Steven Adams news, we're projecting this team out as some people, including myself, what could be a 50-win team. Now you lose Steven Adams, but you still have a pretty dang good team. You have quality in a lot of different areas. You're going to hopefully have Ja for a large chunk of games, as he'll be well rested coming off those 25.
Fingers crossed.
The schedule, fingers crossed. The schedule is not that challenging early in the season. It also so these first 25 games to me, and I've been saying this, are critical because the schedule is not that challenging. If you struggle through these first 25 games, though, and Ja comes back and you play a more difficult schedule, you might be in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
So you got to take that into consideration. But I think it just sets up well for this team to potentially be a playoff team again because you have so much quality. You have Desmond Bane. He's going to be awesome this year. He's going to be great. I don't think anybody has a doubt.
I agree with that.
Building that he's going to look really, really good. I think that Jaren is still getting better at this stage in his career. I know the summer looked entirely different, but the NBA game is just it's a totally different game you're playing out there, especially from a big man's perspective defensively in the NBA versus FIBA. And I think we saw that almost immediately once he got on the court in the preseason. It's like, all right, Jaren's going to be fine. The only game that he was in the big-time foul trouble was the Bucks game, and you're defending Giannis. Like, that can happen to anybody, right? It's Giannis. The guy's probably the best player in the league. Just signed a massive extension. So I still think that there's enough quality on this team that they're going to win 40 games. Like, they're going to win 40 games at least this year, and that's going to be enough to put you potentially in a playoff race. And they all take us some games at the end of the season, and who knows, maybe Ja comes back particularly motivated, and he looks great in addition to Bane already averaging 25 points per game. Like, if you have those three guys on the floor together, Bane, Morant, and Jackson, you can't convince me that that's not one of the better teams in the NBA.
Okay.
So
good job. Good job selling me.
Forget the playoffs. Sell me how they're going to win an in-season tournament, like important stuff.
It's funny though, because like timing of that is like right around the holidays, and we're as an NBA beat writer, I'm spending a lot of planning time on figuring out when I'm going to be able to see my family.
Right.
And I'm looking at that gap in the schedule, and I'm like, oh, wow, the Grizzlies don't play. And no, I just totally forget about it. The Grizzlies, I'm like, I could be in Vegas. I could be in Memphis. I could be, who knows, in D.C. Like, it's just, it's such a weird thing. I'm not ready for it. And I don't know if anyone's really going to care about it this first season. Like, I honestly have zero predictions. Like, I have no idea if anyone's going to like it. I don't know what it's going to look like on TV.
Right.
I'm kind of interested in what it will look like, but I don't know.
I heard the first one's going to be about everybody trying to figure it out. Like, what exactly, how's this work? Because right now with those last couple of games not scheduled, and then like once the teams are in Vegas playing for it, I think maybe people will care a little bit more then. But at the beginning, people are like, wait, tonight is this game counts for what now? This is part of that tournament deal, or what is this?
It's almost like soccer when they have they got the MLS season and they're playing international friendlies and they have tournaments going on in between the season. I think the winner should get the Battle for the Bones trophy. Would Memphis give that up? Just give them the Battle for the Bones trophy. Who knows? I think it's going to be a challenging year, Drew. I know you'll have the team covered as you do every year. You've done such a great job. And look, I think the nucleus is there. Whether or not they'll be able to come through, we'll see. Get acclimated to a new fun player in Marcus Smart. That certainly has a lot of fans excited about it as well. But it all begins tomorrow night when the Grizzlies host the New Orleans Pelicans. He is Drew Hill, Grizzlies beat writer for the Daily Memphian. You can follow him on Twitter at DrewHill_DM. Thank you so much for getting up early. Now go back to sleep. Thanks, Drew.
No problem. Thanks, Greg. I'll see you down there tomorrow.
All right, take care.
This side of the program brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware, corner White Station and Quince. Go by and see them for all your Big Green Egg accessories and the Big Green Eggs themselves. The massive selection of Benjamin Moore paints. You got those DIY projects around the house coming up. Well, folks at East Memphis Ace Hardware have everything you need and a great staff to help you find exactly what you need. Again, go by and see them, corner White Station and Quince at Ace Hardware in East Memphis.
Did a good job selling me on the team. And I like the team because the team always seems to go beyond the expectations and they battle adversity really, really well. But you have to also consider what else is out there in the West, and the West has gotten better. They're already good, but they've gotten better. So it's going to be a big challenge, but exciting to see what they can do despite these
it wouldn't be the start of Grizzly season without you doubting
these
the
potholes. I don't doubt them. It's just
every year you've said that they're going to take a step back.
Well, I think they're definitely going to take. Now, there's no way they're finishing second in the West this year. You would even agree on that one. There is no way.
They're this year without Steve Allen, but I still think there's a very good chance they are a playoff team.
Oh yeah, I mean, that would not surprise me, but I would not bet them to finish second or first as far as best record in the West, not with the situation that now presents itself. All right, when we come back, we'll give you the topic for tomorrow's 5 favorite things. We'll wrap up hour 1, get you set for what will be a busy hour number 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
latte for Mike?
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hey, Mid-South, you looking for a new ride that'll save you some big bucks? We got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike. A new ride that boosts 41 mpg highway and 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 to its signing. How about 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV? 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 to its signing. And 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 to its signing. EV purchase, all 36-month leases, and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE $678, $6055, MSRP $21,610, Nero P5017859, MSRP $41,090, EV6 P5017859, MSRP $49,687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
If you like where Mercedes-Benz has been, you're going to love where they're going. A full range of EVs now available at your local dealer. Mercedes-Benz is turning electric completely on its head. Experience the all-electric EQB, a versatile luxury SUV that can seat as many as 7. The brilliantly advanced and superbly equipped EQE SUV, positively alive with groundbreaking technology. The inspired EQE, the electric sedan with energizing comfort features that recharge you. The boundlessly capable EQS SUV, a vehicle that takes luxury and innovation to places they've never been before. And of course, the magnificent EQS, the flagship of all EVs, delivering the Mercedes electric experience on a truly epic scale. The vehicles are all electric. The feeling's all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Test drive a Mercedes-Benz electric model today at your local dealer or learn more at MBUSA.com.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So, this was a little alarming. I pull up Basketball Reference. I was trying to look up something on the Grizzlies last year without Steven Adams. And so they have like FanDuel TV that's on there when you pull it up, and literally right as I go to the page, all I see is a gigantic. Who is it that's on there talking? Chandler Parsons. I was like, I don't need to be looking up knee injury stuff and then see Chandler Parsons immediately on my computer screen.
Who is it for? Who's he doing broadcasting for?
It's FanDuel TV.
FanDuel TV. Wow.
But so last year, after the Adams injury in the regular season, the Grizzlies went 20-16. So if you charted that out over a full season, that would be about 46 wins. Be like 46-36. And obviously, I'm not saying the exact. Obviously, the schedule, all that stuff. But without him in the regular season last year, they went 20-16 after the injury, which again would chart out to about a 46-36 record. And Ja, if you say, well, Ja's out for 21st, 25 games. In the 36 games they played without Steven Adams last year, Ja missed 14 of them. So he missed not most, but almost half of the games that Adams missed last year, and they did go 20-16 over that stretch.
Well, again, look, we know they're a really good team with a really good numbers.
And that was without Marcus Smart, too.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, too. He's getting integrated. How will that chemistry work? We don't know for sure. We think it'll work really, really well. So it's just another additional piece to what you already have with your nucleus. And the Grizzlies, again, it seems like year in and year out, they overcome adversity, at least during the regular season. They're really good during the regular season, which I don't care too much of, except this year, because I think it's going to be a battle to be in the top six. A little more important. They've been able to obviously finish second the last 2 years, and that's fantastic. But it's all about what happens in the postseason. But to your point, yes, this is a good team. They should still do pretty well. Now, Zaire Williams has to pick it up. The bench has to be better. You have to also get more from Jaren Jackson Jr., as Marcus Smart said. And if Jaren Jackson Jr., who has the size, has the agility, has the athleticism to get more rebounds, does it take him away from blocking the shots that he normally does? Because a lot of times he's blocking shots and he's out of position to rebound because you have Steven Adams over there rebounding the basketball. It's a little different ballgame. Tillman may have caught people by surprise last year. And I don't think that's going to happen going into this year, as I think teams will be ready for his game. I think Tillman's a good, serviceable NBA big man. I think teams will be a little bit more ready for him.
Reggie says, I hope the Grizzlies don't wait until the trade deadline to realize they need to get a replacement, even if they get someone off the street. Yeah, again, I said yesterday, and what Drew Hill just talked about, I think the most likely route is once they can sign the replacement for Ja, so after the first 5 games of the season, they go sign somebody who's out there, gives them a trial run and kind of see what they want to do long term.
And if they want to keep that player, they're going to have to cut somebody.
Yeah, if they want to, and it may be they keep that player. Maybe like, no, we want to go get somebody a little bit better. That we don't think there's anybody else better out there, so we're going to go the trade route or whatever. But it gives them that opportunity to do a trial run of, okay, how does this all work? And who that person is that's out there on the street, I don't know who that will be, but I would guess that's the most likely route. Go get a Bismack Biyombo type guy to come in and just be a big body when you need one.
5 favorite things. We do it on Wednesday. We give you the topic on Tuesday. So since it is Tuesday, what's the topic for tomorrow?
The topic for tomorrow, your 5 favorite television cops
5 favorite television cops. Now, cops, not detectives, or is that a combination?
Well, that's police.
Okay, so anybody's working in the police field.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 10. 5 favorite television cops. 5 favorite television cops for tomorrow's 5 favorite things. By the way, we were talking earlier about Adolis Garcia, who once played for the Redbirds. Also, a former Redbird, Tommy Pham, hit a home run yesterday for Arizona. Former Redbirds, they are everywhere. Adolis Garcia now has 20 runs batted in this postseason. Do you know who owns the all-time record for most runs batted in the postseason, in one postseason?
I believe Randy Arozarena.
No. Another former Redbird, by the way.
He might have a home run. I can't remember what his... He set some record was that last year?
Yeah, he did set a record, but it wasn't for most RBI in a postseason. It is David Freese, the former Cardinal, 21. So Garcia at 20.
And that was 2011?
Yes. Garcia.
Which was the Rangers, and he beat the Rangers.
Oh,
in
wow.
the World
How about
Series
that?
With the home run.
But Garcia, with 20, with a whole World Series to go, he's going to shatter that darn thing. Hopefully not if it's the Phillies. I don't care. If the Phillies lose to the Diamondbacks, I couldn't care less. But yeah, isn't that funny? You bring up Arozarena, Tommy Pham, Adolis Garcia, all once having played down on Union at AutoZone Park. All right, that's 1 hour in the books.
Fortunate for them, they got out of the Cardinals organization.
Coming up in hour number 2, our buddy Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC. We'll see how transparent Steve is. He's usually pretty transparent with us here on the program. We'll talk to him about the Ryder Cup, about the future of golf, and then later in the hour, Jeff Crane from the University of Memphis. But before we do all that, it's Humdinger's Trivia. That's coming up next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 at 98.5 FM.
What do you get when you have a dream, a beer, and a business plan? Meddlesome Brewing. Meddlesome's classic ales and lagers capture the true Memphis spirit. Strong, tenacious, and unforgettable. Meddlesome captures true Memphis spirit as well with community events including the Meddlesome Meandering 0.5K Saturday, November 4th with live music, event cup, and plenty of brews like Memphis Style and 201 Hoppler. Meddlesome Brewing on Trinity in Cordova just east of Shelby Farms. On tap and can packages. Meddlesome Brewing. Never settle, always meddle.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Choate's is offering some amazing specials for this month only. If you're considering upgrading your furnace before the cold weather comes, Choate's is offering $1,000 off a new Carrier furnace. If you don't need a new furnace, Choate's is now offering its early bird $60 furnace tune-up. This 22-point tune-up includes a free carbon monoxide test and heat exchanger inspection. And Choate's is your indoor air quality expert. For the best quality air for you and your family, it's recommended to have your air ducts cleaned every 8 years. This month only, Choate's will install a free UV light system when you get your air ducts cleaned, a $500 value. Call us at 347-8086 to take advantage of these amazing deals. So, turn to the experts with Choate's, and remember, let our family serve your family.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Coletta's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletta's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletta's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletta's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletta's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletta's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletta's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 MPG combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate, loyalty, conquest rebate, 500 G4, RHFO 1918, MSRP 19255, Sport, PU 015-137, MSRP 26595, Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33185, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good morning. A couple of accidents out here in the clearing stages, including that one at Hollywood Street there at Jackson Avenue. Also, we had one earlier at Deadfall at Millington-Arlington Road. That should be in its clearing stages. A little bit of traffic still coming inbound on Summer Avenue. Still not too bad right now. 385 Billmore's Parkway as you come out of Collierville, headed towards 240. Listen, if you get hurt in a car crash, call 901 Attorneys right here in Memphis. They're online, 901attorneys.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:04 the time. Hour 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Tuesday, October 24th, 2023 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 69, partly cloudy. We're looking at a high today of 83 with intervals of clouds and sunshine. That tonight, a few clouds and a low of 64 with gusts, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Second hour of the program is brought to you by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers. I'll give you a little more info on that, little intel a little bit later on in the hour, but right now it's time for Humdinger's Trivia.
That's right. Opportunity for somebody out there to win a $25 gift certificate to Humdingers. You can be the first to answer the question correctly. Of course, at Humdingers, Tuesdays mean Taco Tuesday. Every Tuesday, their chicken and fish tacos are just $2 each. That's all day, each and every Tuesday. Of course, every day you go over to Humdingers, they've got great food, including all the different grilled fish options with the toppings and the great sides. They've got the crispy fish and chips. They do a special with that on Fridays that you can take advantage of. The Humdinger shrimp. You can add a skewer of shrimp to those grilled fish options as well. Sandwiches, salads, so many great things, so many healthy items on the menu. If you need an event catered, they can do that for you as well. HumdingersRestaurant.com. You can check out the entire menu there, and you can find them over at Poplar and Massey. And again, if you're the first to answer the trivia question correctly, well, then you'll get a $25 gift certificate to go enjoy some of that delicious Humdinger's food. You can answer via text on the Sports 56 listener line, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Text in those answers, and the first correct answer gets the $25 gift certificate. And here is today's question. I had a Game 7 last night. Got a Game 7 tonight in the Major League Baseball playoffs. Who has played, which player in the history of Major League Baseball has played in the most Game 7s? Which player played in the most Game 7s in Major League Baseball history? Now, that's counting League Championship Series and World Series. Any Game 7. Who has played in the most Game 7s in Major League Baseball history? 901-360-8255. Text in those answers. First correct answer gets that $25 gift certificate to Humdingers.
Without further ado, he is simply one of the best in the business, one of the best interviewers. He does a tremendous job doing play-by-play as well. He is our buddy Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC, joining us now on Sports 56 Morning. Steve, how are you today?
Derek Jeter.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect.
I knew he was going to take a guess at
That's an incorrect answer.
And
You got to be a Yankee, right?
I cannot give hints, Steve.
Come on, Eli.
All I can tell, I am giving a hint in that you've given people it is not Derek Jeter. We have eliminated one player from the history of baseball that it is not.
It's got to be a modern era player because they didn't play enough playoff series back then. So it's got to be somebody since like 1980.
Although there's only one round of the play, there's only 2 rounds of playoffs that are 7 games now. It's not like they've added a bunch of game 7s.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't. The first one's Game 5.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly, Mr. Smarty
Yogi
Pants. What is going on, my friend? How are you?
Come on.
What?
Come on. Let me get this thing. Give me a hint,
we're
Eli.
trying to give away a prize package to our listeners.
If we have a correct answer by the end of this, I'll tell you who the answer is.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, brother. Hey,
What's happening, fellas?
Well, Alon, I wanted to bring you on for several reasons. Obviously, we're not, we're kind of in that weird part of, I don't know if it's the end of this 2023 season. We began the 2023/24 season. All I know is all the talk was for I don't know how many months now about the merger. What the hell's going on with the merger?
I don't know. They have until December 31st is what they announced in June, that they had till the end of the year to come up with their framework deal and to come together. And right now, there hasn't been much to talk about. There hasn't been much reported. Nobody really knows exactly where that deal takes place. So right now, I think everybody's kind of not in limbo. I just think everybody's wondering what actually is going to take place. What is the next step going to be?
Yeah, but the shark has come out of his hibernation. Greg Norman now back to talking, saying, hey, man, I'm back. I'm going to be I'm in my position. I'm not going anywhere. Liv's going to be bigger and better. We're looking at taking down a few more of the PGA Tour players to add to our – I mean, he has come out guns a-blazing here over the last few days. So, again, this is just it's kind of weird. I'm sure it is extremely weird for you, a person inside the actual game of golf and with all the responsibilities that you have, not knowing, just like the fan base not knowing.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I saw what Greg said. I saw what Phil said. I heard and saw, obviously. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the next few weeks are like. I think that everybody in the golf world is kind of paying attention a little bit closer now as the date gets closer to that, end of the year deadline, quote unquote deadline, if you will. But I was reading this morning that Liv is talking about having some new events next year. One of them in Las Vegas, one of them in Houston. Both of those are PGA Tour cities, by the way, and one of them in Nashville, in your guys' home state, in Tennessee. Which is not a PGA Tour stop, but there's a Korn Ferry Tour event in Nashville. And I think that if Liv expands and it plans on expanding and plans on trying to get more players to come on board, then I don't know what that means for that new framework deal. Because one of the things that was in the announcement or the scuttlebutt or the talk in and around when that time frame was in early June, when they announced that they were going to be coming together a little bit and having a partnership, was that they would not recruit more PGA Tour players. Well, if they are announcing that they are going to try to recruit more PGA Tour players, then I don't know where that stands as far as what that framework deal is going to look like.
Yeah, that's so strange. All of it is so strange.
Yeah, it is.
And like to be this late in the game and kind of be unknown of what next year looks like is.
And Jay's been quiet.
Yeah.
Jay hasn't said anything.
He might be out ill again. Who knows? He might miss another month
on the
or
DL.
So. Going back to the Ryder Cup, what is it going to take for the U.S. to win on foreign soil?
Phew. I tell you what, Eli, I thought a lot about it that week in Italy when we were there. I don't recall any time in this sport in the last 24 years since I've been covering this sport where heard a player take 5 weeks off before a big event.
Right.
And I'm not telling these guys how to play, when to play, where to play. None of that. But these guys are programmed differently than normal human beings. That's why they're the best players in the world. They work harder, and they're more talented. And when they take 5 weeks off before a big event, that's just seems a little bit contrary to what they normally do. The biggest events in golf, the Masters, the PGA Championship, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship, and then you have the Ryder Cup every other year. There's never a case, never, where at the Honda Classic, they say, okay, see you, Steve, in 5 weeks at the Masters, and don't play before that. So 9 of the 12 Americans didn't play from the Tour Championship to the Ryder Cup, which was 5 weeks. Now, they're certainly allowed to do that. That's their prerogative. They could do whatever they wish. But they would never do that before a major championship. So maybe there was some rust involved. Maybe they need to mix up the way they get ready for the Ryder Cup when it's over there. And I realize it's a long season. These guys deserve the time off. There's no question about it. But you can't tell me they weren't a little bit on the rusty side after taking that long a time off. I also think that the European team is just more energized over there. They're more together when it comes to what their actual game plan is going to be leading up to it and that particular week. I think the world of Zach Johnson. You guys know that. And I thought he was a really good captain. At the end of the day, Eli, I just think these guys got beat. It's sports. Look, the three of us are massive sports fans. Sometimes you just get beat. But I think that not playing for 5 weeks is a mistake. And I think that that's something that the American players on this side of the Atlantic will probably learn moving forward in 4 years when the next international Ryder Cup happens. I do not think they're going to take 5 weeks off next time the Ryder Cup happens.
I'm a little more cynical. We're the lazy Americans, Steve. Look at Team USA basketball, man. They get together for a practice for a couple weeks. They go and they get beat. They don't even medal this year in the FIBA World Cups. The Europeans are together as a team, just like the Europeans are for golf, man. They're together. They want it more. Right now, we're lazy. We're fat and lazy. We need to be better.
No,
come on. Now
It's not that we're fat and lazy. I just think that there are different priorities in the United States than there are in Europe, than there are in Africa, than there are anywhere in the world. They have different priorities than we have.
True.
And different ideologies, different, thought processes. I think listen, I watched that FIBA thing, and I was like, you got to be kidding me that we're losing this, okay? and I mean the United States.
Sure.
I was like, come on now. You have professional basketball players all over the court here. There's no way the United States should lose that. But sometimes they do. And in this particular case in the Ryder Cup, I don't think it had anything to do with being lazy or being anything other than they just got beat, Greg. Like sometimes in sports, it just happens. Sometimes in sports you just get beat.
Well, Vikings beat the Niners last night. We were just talking about that. You don't expect that. But do you think you just praised Zach Johnson, and I understand one of the nicest guys there is in golf.
Yeah,
did he pick the right players? I know it's Monday morning quarterbacking, hindsight, and all that stuff. Did you like who he picked from the get-go?
Well, there's no way to argue with the 12 guys who played.
Okay.
There's no way to argue with those 12 because those 12 players are world-class players. They're great players. Personally, just my personal opinion, I said this beforehand, maybe with you guys on the air, I think I have always had an issue in this sport with winning not mattering enough. I don't think that a win means enough. I don't think it should be just 18% of the purse. I think it should be a little bit larger. I think there should be a larger discrepancy in the money that's doled out to a win versus a second place or a third place.
I agree.
In my opinion. I think there's nothing more important. This is not Little League. This is not participation sports, professional sports. There is nothing more important than winning. There's nothing bigger than winning. So when Lucas Glover, who's an all-time good guy, everybody likes him, everybody respects him, when he wins 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks before the selection process, or 3 weeks before the selection process is completed, to me, I put Lucas Glover on that team. To me, Keegan Bradley, who is a big-time American stalwart, loves the Ryder Cup, rah-rah kind of guy. He won twice last season and did not get on that team. Now, there are a lot of politics, there are a lot of factors involved in that team. I think Justin Thomas is one of the 10 best players in the world, and I don't think he had a great year. You'll be the first one to tell you he did not have a great year. But I do think he should be on that team because he's Justin Thomas. All right? Sam Burns was on that team because Sam Burns is a world-class player. Did he have a great year? No, not particularly. But he is a world-class player. He's also best friends with Scottie Scheffler. He's also a guy who's won multiple times. So it's hard to argue with Sam Burns being on that team or Justin Thomas being on that team. Personally, I think Lucas Glover should have been on that team with those 2 wins late in the season because I just think winning is just so difficult in this sport. And by the way, he won the next week.
He would have been one of my picks. I'm in agreement, total agreement.
That's it. But having said that, it's really hard to argue, and I'm not trying to play both sides. It's hard to argue with Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas is going to the first ballot Hall of Fame player, and Sam Burns is a world-class player. So, it's tough to make those picks. I mean, Ricky Fowler was a pick on the team. Jordan Spieth was a pick. I mean, these guys are world-class players. It's hard to argue with them. Again, I go back to 2 things. One, the 5 weeks off between the Tour Championship and the Ryder Cup is just too long for professional golfers. They would never, ever, ever take 5 weeks off before a major championship. So I think there was a little bit of rush there. And also, they got beat. It's okay. It's sports. They're going to come back in 2 years at Bethpage Black, and I'll bet you the Americans beat the Europeans for a variety of factors. But one being they just don't like getting beat like that. I think they'll be just a tad more focused at Bethpage Black than they were on the road.
Certainly you can make a great case for everybody who was on the team. I think you can argue that when Jordan Spieth can't hit a ball in play, maybe he shouldn't play the next session. That's just a different. That's just me, though.
I agree with that.
But anyway, in your
I
opinion,
agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing to me about it. In your opinion, should these guys be paid for the Ryder Cup?
Here we go.
Man, it's such a fascinating argument to me, and I understand both sides. Personally, this is just me personally. I think that the purity of the event and the history of the event matters more than anything. That's my personal opinion. Now, I'm not a professional golfer. So when I go play golf as a professional golfer, well, I mean, when you're a pro, there's money involved. So I understand that side of it as well. However, as a sports fan, as a sportscaster, as someone who loves all these types of things, I think when the NBA players go to the Olympics, they're not getting paid. I think when guys are great enough to be on the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup, those particular weeks, they don't get paid. And I think that's kind of part of the nuance of the event and the fun of the event that you're playing for the country or the continent in Europe's side as opposed to the money. But I do understand it's not a charity event. And there are tens of millions of dollars earned by the PGA of America, by the DP World Tour, by Ryder Cup Europe, by Ryder Cup USA, by television, by sponsors, all these types of things. I do understand the argument, but me personally, Eli, I think that the purity of the event is so great that I think that, the money does go somewhere, okay, that's earned. It goes to the PGA of America and the DP World Tour. A lot of the percentage goes, not a lot, but some of the percentage goes back to the PGA Tour. So they do kind of get paid. They just don't get paid directly. So I'm not trying to have both sides. I think 2 things can be true. Professionals expect to get paid. If the 3 of us went to go do an event, well, we're expected to get paid because this is what we do for a living. Same case for a golfer. However, on the other side, the purity of the event, the way the event has mushroomed over the years, there has never been a pay scale at the Ryder Cup, and I think that the purity of that event should stay intact.
Well, they kind of threw you right in the middle of everything with
my
Mr. Cantlay and the no hat thing. They put you on the spot, didn't they?
Well, listen, you guys know me well.
Yes.
Personally and professionally. The last thing in the world I would ever do is get myself involved in a story. It is always about the athlete. It's about the competition. It's about the sport, all those types of things. I just happen to be the guy who's down on the ground. And when something is either said or not said to me, off camera, off the record, you will never, ever hear me bring that on the air.
Right.
And you would never, ever hear me bring that to light, whether it happened or didn't happen. So I'm not saying anything. It's none of my business. The 12 players are the best players from America, and the captains and the assistant captains, it's all about them. It's not about me. I was very, very uncomfortable being involved in that and being written about. It just skews me out. I don't like that at all. But that's if Patrick Cantlay wants to say something about getting paid, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, Zach Johnson, Stuart Sink, doesn't matter who it is, captains, assistant captains, or players. That's up to them. That is none of our business, and it's not for us to talk about.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Leave Sands out of this, man.
This is just on the whole thing.
I have too much respect for those guys.
I know you do.
On the money.
It's not even that on a personal level, Eli and Greg. I have too much respect for them professionally.
Mm-hmm.
I have too much respect for what they do and how hard it is to do what they do. And I have too much respect for our profession to ever get involved in a story like that. That is not our job.
Well said.
In my opinion, our job is to be the conduit between the athlete and the audience, and that's it.
Could they not let the players put their sponsors on, either wear a sponsor's hat or something, so that they could make money that way?
Oh, they could, but they don't. And,
yeah, I mean,
if we go back to the Olympics when Jordan, didn't wear was it Converse?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think it was Converse, right?
Yeah, I believe that's what it was then.
I think it was Converse. It's a very, very tricky thing for athletes when they are in a sponsor situation and they're going head-to-head against that sponsor. Now, if everybody's going to be wearing a USA uniform and they're going to allow some sponsorship dollars, that's a different story. But then everybody won't be uniform. So if you're going to have it be a team event, Eli, I don't know how you could have Adidas, TaylorMade, Callaway, Goldman Sachs, Nike, whatever, Titleist, whatever the sponsors are, everybody won't look uniform. And if you're going to be a team, then you've got to look like a team.
Well,
it seems like to me, but I don't know.
If some guys are wearing hats and some guys aren't, that's the same thing. What's the difference if it's different hats or hat versus no hat? You could do everything else the same. Just let them wear their hats is what I would say. Just that would be my.
You can make a strong case that that's correct as well.
Yep, yeah. He's right.
All right, so you were on the right track. It is a Yankee. It is Yogi Berra, by the way, tied for second on the list. So you were close with Yogi Berra.
Oh, is it? Wait, let me see.
Did Bernie Williams come before Derek?
How about
it is not Bernie Williams?
How about Posada?
It is not Jorge Posada. It's older. You were on the right track going older.
Oh,
it is not one of the newer guys.
Older Yankee. Oh man.
Would you go?
He's pretty good.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
Really?
8 Game 7s for Mickey Mantle. Yogi Berra and Elston Howard had 7 each.
By the way,
you don't win the swag.
Sorry, I lost the bet. Oh well. The next time, barbecue's on me next time. You know what's amazing? I saw last night that Bruce Bochy is 6-0 in elimination games.
I know. He's unbelievable.
Winner take all games.
He's unbelievable.
He's pretty good.
How great is that?
I know. I'm sweating, though. I got the Phillies Game 7 tonight. That's my team. So I'm going to be nervous all day long.
Greg.
Huh?
You know where I'm from, Greg, you right?
I know where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from D.C.
I knew you're from D.C.
You know what we say about Philadelphia?
What?
In D.C., if you win a contest in D.C., you get a 1-week stay in Philadelphia. If you come in second, you get a 2-week stay.
I knew it was going. Hey, real quick.
Go D-backs, baby. Come on.
Real quick. This is the most important thing here before we let you go. So Eli and I decided since we didn't win as the United States against the Europeans in the Ryder Cup, we figured out who would win in a fight. So we took all the singles matches from Sunday, and we broke it all down, and still when push comes to shove, Brooks Koepka's the winner, so the United States wins. Is Brooks Koepka, would you put him up against anybody in a fight, or is there somebody that we're not, we were talking about, maybe Terrell Hatton looks like he's a fighter. There's a couple other guys. Most of those guys look like lovers, not fighters. Who would be the toughest guy you think that would come out in a battle royale?
I think Tyrrell Hatton would be certain of the 24 players of the Ryder Cup. Tyrrell Hatton would certainly be in the top 5.
Yep.
But I'll take Koepka and give you the field when it comes to that.
There you go. You're with us.
I think Koepka could handle his business perfectly fine.
He is the best. He is Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC. Enjoy some time with your family. I don't know how many events you got coming up here in the winter, but hopefully you get a little chance to relax a little bit, and we'll get back with you, I'm sure, right after the holidays and get your perfect expertise on our program. Steve, we can't thank you enough, man. You're a great friend of the show.
You're a great guy. I love you. And Eli, you're the best. And sadly, I have way too much time to watch the Commanders suck this fall.
Sorry, my friend. Thank you, Steve.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.
By the way, the Cardinals have played the most Game 7s, not the Yankees. Cardinals have played the most Game 7s.
Okay.
Phillies, I can't believe this is the first Game 7 in Phillies history.
I know. Isn't that right?
There's only 3 teams that have never played a Game 7. Zach, I need a tiebreaker from you. We do have 2 people that got it at the same time, came in quickly with Mickey Mantle, beat everybody else. There were a lot of Mickey Mantles. Everybody came with the Yankees. There was a bunch of Yankees, but there were like 5 or 6 that got Mickey Mantle. 2 came in at the same time to tie. So, Zach, Phillies or Diamondbacks?
Be careful.
Diamondbacks.
All right. I had a feeling you might go there. I didn't know
what are you doing,
if you would
man?
cower to the pressure or go that way.
No.
All right, so we'll be contacting the winner and letting them know how to get their prize.
By the way, yesterday, can they show Joe Carter's home run off Mitch Williams any more than they did?
It was the anniversary of it.
I know, 30 years. I know exactly where I was when that happened. So you're right. Phillies have never played in a Game 7. That was Game 6, and that won it for Toronto. Joe Carter over the home run off Mitch Wild Thing Williams. The one time I need him to be wild, he throws it right over the plate.
The Mariners, Padres, Rockies, the 3 teams that have never played a Game 7.
We need to take a break. When we come back, we're talking University of Memphis Athletics with Jeff Crane. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in
combo, single item at regular price. All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE $678, $6055, MSRP $21,610, Nero P5017859, MSRP $41,090, EV6 P5017859, MSRP $49,687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, the weather's getting cooler, but the deals keep on getting hotter at Gossett Kia South. What you got going on, Jeff?
Only the best deals you'll find on your new Kia, Randy. I've got 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $29.99 due at signing. I've got EV action with a 2023 Nero EV Win SUV, 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And a 2023 Kia EV6 Win, 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Just a few more minutes on the earlier wreck at Hollywood at Jackson. It's a little bit of volume here in the last few minutes. 40 westbound as you come past Abilene all the way up to Sycamore View Road, getting on that flyover there from 40 west on to 240, getting off onto Sam Cooper. Coming inbound on Sam Cooper, still not too bad, at least at the moment. Hey, there's an adventure around every corner at the Memphis Zoo. Check out their events calendar at memphiszoo.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. We have shortchanged poor Jeff Crane. It is time to talk some University of Memphis athletics with their deputy AD, Mr. Jeff Crane.
It's time to talk Memphis Tigers athletics. Joining Greg and Eli is University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director Jeff Crane. Here's Jeff with Greg and Eli.
Make sure to follow Jeff on Twitter at jcrane75. Catch him every week talking University of Memphis athletics with us here on Sports 56 Mornings. Jeff, so sorry we ran late with Steve Sands. We were getting silly there, and the clock just got past me a little bit. So thank you for joining us here at this late moment.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
You'll still be paid in full.
In full.
Thank you.
In full. So I heard after Saturday's game in Birmingham, you were bench pressing the Battle of the Bones trophy. Is that true?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure there's a heavier trophy in college football. There's definitely not a more unique one than that. So we're proud to bring it back to Memphis, and exciting win for our football program last Saturday in Birmingham.
I can tell you one thing. It would smash the old oaken bucket. You just drop it right on top of it. It would smash that trophy to pieces. But, yeah, slow start, a little bit troubling at the beginning, but then the Tigers got it in gear, and the second half was tremendous to get that win. So one win away from bowl eligibility and that opportunity this Saturday in Denton against North Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd really give our coaching staff and our players a lot of credit. Because they went into the locker room and regrouped, and it was a completely different outcome in the second half than it was in the first. And another great opportunity this weekend in Denton, and I can tell you that our team does not take anybody lightly, and they prepare just the same for all of our games, as I know you've heard Coach Silverfield talk about. We'll be ready to go 2:00 on Saturday on ESPN Plus.
So where do the Battle of the Bones trophy, where does that trophy go for this year? Who does it go?
We'll keep it up in our football building. We have a really cool recruiting room where we keep a lot of trophies, and the the Battle of the Bones is proudly displayed in that room for all to see.
So speaking of that game this past Saturday, the contingent that came down from Memphis was pretty good. And when you compare it to the UAB fans, it almost felt like it was 50-50. It wasn't a huge crowd by any stretch of the imagination, but pretty nice contingent. You know, there'll be a few that'll head down to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Denton to be exact, for the game this Saturday. But I thought it was a nice contingent, and to have that rivalry with that close proximity is I think, important for road games when you're playing Birmingham, to have that fan support.
Yeah, no question. You know, it's fun for fans to be able to jump in their car and go see the Tigers play, and you could make that trip in a day if you were so inclined. Not too difficult to do, and it seemed that a lot of fans did that, and we're very thankful for it. And you know, onto the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Denton, we have a number of players from that area, and lots of families that we're expecting to be at the game there at North Texas. So you're right, great for the rivalry, great showing from our fans there in Birmingham. You know, in the area right outside their stadium was really cool. I thought a lot of restaurants, retail. You can kind of see what the future of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium and Liberty Park may be. I just thought that added a lot to the overall experience.
It is a great area. That the way they did that in that whole uptown area is really, really cool. And of course, a lot of people, the Birmingham Bowl and the Tigers were down there. A lot of stuff was in that area. Now it's just grown up more since then with the stadium and everything else. So
Top Golf is right across the street.
It's really, really, really nice setup as far as that is concerned. Seth Hennigan is from Denton, isn't he?
Yes.
So I'm sure he's going to have some family there
on Saturday. Yeah, lots of the Hennigan family will be in Denton on Saturday.
They also announced yesterday the start time for the homecoming game, which will be a week from this Saturday. South Florida comes to town. I'm sure there'll be a lot of events that correspond with the big homecoming game on that Saturday going into that game. Is that true, Jeff?
Absolutely, yeah. Lots of fun homecoming activities that our team is involved in. We'll have a parade. The university will have a parade down Highland on that Friday afternoon. I think it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock on Friday, and then a pep rally immediately following in El Marone Fieldhouse. So lots of festivities, lots of opportunities for alumni to come back and see that game. We're excited that it'll be at 2 o'clock, so that makes it easy for families to get out and enjoy the day.
By the way, the Golden Boot, which LSU and Arkansas play for, weighs 200 pounds.
Really?
So yeah, when they built it, they had the goal of making it the heaviest trophy in college football. So the Bones might be second, but that weighs 200 pounds.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, that's just a side note. I knew there was. I thought it was that one was really heavy.
Thanks for raining on our parade.
I had to find. I knew because literally when they made it, their whole thing was we're going to make the heaviest trophy in college sports, and so they went above and beyond. I don't know what they had to beat at that time. I don't know what they were going to beat, but that was they made them with the goal of making it the heaviest in college sports. Your women's soccer team continues to roll along.
Yeah, an awesome weekend for them with 2 wins and sitting in the top 10 and even the top 5 in a poll or two. So we're just elated with how they're playing and the excitement around that program. You go out to those games. In fact, the game last Thursday night, the marching band was out there and just a huge crowd, wonderful atmosphere, and just a great day to win that divisional championship for our women's soccer program. So looking forward to the postseason, which is coming soon, and we're putting bids in on the men's and the women's soccer side to host postseason. And so stay tuned for more of that to come.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, when will you find out? Because if I'm not mistaken, the women's final game is Thursday at Tulsa, and then it's the conference, the conference tournament?
Yeah, the conference tournament is at a neutral site this year, and so it will be probably another 10 days, 2 weeks before we find out about the postseason opportunities beyond the conference tournament. But that's coming, and our men's soccer team plays this weekend on Friday at 7. They're at the soccer track complex, and 2 volleyball games this weekend as well, Friday at 1 and then on Sunday. So a lot happening on campus this weekend.
And then off campus on Sunday down at FedEx Forum, the Memphis men's basketball team will have their first of 2 exhibition games.
Absolutely. We play Lane College on Sunday at 2:00, and love for folks to come out and check it out. Great opportunity to maybe even sit down low, get a close look. $10 you can get in for that exhibition game. So expecting a big crowd, and amazing to think that men's and women's basketball season is upon us.
I read where the women's season tickets, as far as basketball is concerned, is at an all-time high. It's a record that has been set. There's still some tickets available, but they have set the record for season tickets. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that's been building over the last 2 or 3 years, as we've talked about. We believe the ceiling's very high in women's basketball here, and there's significant momentum that is around that program, and just excited for where that's headed. And Coach Simmons has not missed a beat in her arrival here. Our program has just continued to build upon what Coach Merriweather had done previous, and looking forward to their season getting started.
Jeff, we again, sorry that we shortchanged you a little bit this week, but we always appreciate it. Jeff comes on with us each and every week to give us an update on what's happening with University of Memphis Athletics. It is a very, very busy time. He is the University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director. He is Jeff Crane. You can follow him on Twitter at jcrane75. Jeff, as always, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys. Go Tigers, go.
Take care. Jeff Crane from the University of Memphis. Second hour of the program brought to you each and every day by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers, your family's jeweler. 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. The holidays rapidly approaching, and I mean rapidly approaching. You're thinking about that special someone. You want to get that special someone something very special from the jewelry world. Well, they have watches and bracelets and necklaces and earrings and pendants and gemstones of all types, plus tons of custom-made jewelry and estate and vintage jewelry. One-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry, and they're always adding to their collection. Of course, if you're looking to pop the question over the holidays, you're looking to get engaged, James Gaddis Jewelers is your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Many, many people have purchased engagement rings, wedding rings from James Gaddis Jewelers over the years, and you can be next. As James will always say, look at a bunch of jewelers and see what they have to offer, and to make sure that James Gaddis Jewelers is one of the jewelry stores that you come to when you're looking for that special engagement ring, to see what they have to offer, because all their diamonds are independently graded and certified. So you know you're getting a special rock, and they know there's a lot of competition, so they make sure there's a price point to suit everyone's budget. So you can go as high as you want, as low as you want, as far as the price scale is concerned, and they will take care of that rock through the lifetime of that piece of jewelry. Whatever it is that you buy from James Gaddis Jewelers, all the watches, all the rings, all the necklaces, if there's an issue, you bring it over to James. They will take care of it. They have two bench jewelers ready to serve you daily. So if it's a simple cleaning, if it's a resetting of the rock, whatever the case may be, they can do it for you, and they will do it for you. James Gaddis Jewelers, that's why there's so many return customers, because they love what they get. They get that one-on-one feeling. They get that, hometown feeling. That's what James is. This is a locally owned and operated, family-operated jewelry store. This is not some big box store. So if you're looking for that special engagement ring, wedding ring, personally designed wedding sets, or any fine jewelry, it's James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, right in the heart of East Memphis. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise East on Poplar may both be named Sunrise because they serve a fantastic breakfast. But sometimes you can't get to Sunrise for breakfast, and that's why it's important to remember that they both serve amazing lunches until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can get a perfect bacon cheeseburger, or the Dirty Bird sandwich with crispy fried chicken and buffalo sauce, or the fried green tomato BLT at either Sunrise location every day for lunch. When you think of Sunrise, you may think of breakfast, but when you think of lunch, throw in some Sunrise.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
Go where the season takes you, and it'll take you to huge savings at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Be packed with power in 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. 37 MPG combined, $18,755 or $199 a month. Ready for adventure? 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $25,595 or $299 a month. Plus 7 seating and top safety pick 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SUV, $32,185 or $399 a month. And every new Gossett Mitsubishi is equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months, 500 military rebate, loyalty, conquest rebate, 500, G4, RHFO 1918, MSRP 19255, Sport, PU 015-137, MSRP 26595, Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33185, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So when I do the tiebreakers for the Humdingers trivia, whatever things I pick for Zach to choose from, I just randomly assign them to the people that have the tied. And I just do the people who were tied, and I randomly assigned it. And it just so happened that I assigned the guy that I assigned Philadelphia. He had texted in and said his mom's from Philadelphia. So I randomly picked correctly. Now, Zach, you should feel really bad.
Yeah, you picked Arizona.
You went Diamondbacks. The guy's from Philly. The guy's mom is from Philly. I happened to assign him the Philadelphia Phillies just randomly, and then his heart was broken.
They should
just apologize.
Sent the text line saying, "Yeah, my folks are from this area." Just by the way, if I win, like I'm not.
You think he's lying? You think he's trying to lie to trying to earn favor?
Trying to pull
a
fast one?
I don't know. I don't look. If there's one thing I do know, I don't play about people's mamas. So if your mama's from Philly, hey, I'm happy for her. I wish you would have said something earlier to kind of sway in your favor. It's like the election. Like, send me a campaign. Like, send me a flyer or something.
Now you broke his heart, and you're questioning his integrity by saying maybe he's just lying to try and earn favor.
Yes. Why wouldn't you? I don't know where they're from. Everybody to me is from the area.
You're missing the lead here. You're missing the lead. You broke my heart. You know I'm a Phillies fan.
I know you
picked
are.
Arizona, for goodness
I
sakes.
know.
You weren't in the tie. This guy was.
Yeah, but he's looking right at me with those glasses, staring at me with that Nike hat on. He's looking right at me, and he goes, Arizona.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I love
I'll remember.
what the Diamondbacks did this year.
They're
snakes. That's what they are. They're snakes.
They are.
Now I'm wondering about Zach.
They're a fun team. I mean, they are a fun team. There's no doubt. John, by the way, texted in about 5 favorite things for tomorrow. Says, I guess a sheriff would count. Yes, a sheriff is a cop. Any TV character
Law enforcement
who does police work.
Okay, cops and any type of law enforcement.
Cops. Somebody would call a cop. They're cops.
Yeah, but would you call? I'm trying to think who would. Kojak, would he be a cop? I'm not saying he's on my list, but
I didn't watch the show, but was he a cop?
He was a
Did he do police
detective,
work?
so he's a cop.
Yes, he's a cop. Does he have a badge?
Well, how about like
Does
a
he
guy
carry a badge that says police or something on it?
So anybody from SWAT, they would be perfect, but not the military. The military would be off. That would be off the mark. You can't use anybody from the military, but from police, any kind of police activity, there you go. Sheriff.
Barney Fife is a cop. I guess Kojak is a cop. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is.
Barney Miller's a cop.
Yes.
I don't know.
He's definitely
there's been
a
a
cop.
million cops on TV throughout the years.
There has.
Guys who are policemen of any sort would qualify. Your 5
Angie
favorite?
Dickinson, policewoman. The name of the show.
I'm going to go ahead and guess. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to go ahead and guess yes. Must have been a cop.
The late Suzanne Summers once was on a TV show called She's the Sheriff.
I'm going to say that would probably qualify.
Yes, I'm
Probably
not sure how long she was the sheriff for. Maybe one season.
Hey, as long as she was, if you want to use that one season of her as whatever her character's name was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you can, by golly, that qualifies.
So it's pretty broad. It's very broad.
It's very easy. They do police work on television?
Yes.
It's a very simple thing. Shouldn't be a whole lot of questions.
Yeah, but again, are all those CSI, I don't watch those CSI shows, but are all those CSI dudes that are like doing DNA and all that, are they all part of it too?
Again,
are coroners part of it? Jack Klugman? What was that TV show?
A coroner is not a cop. A coroner is a coroner.
But he's doing police work.
No, he's declaring people dead. He's not doing police work.
Yeah, but
they call in the coroner when there's a murder to declare the person dead and everything else.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're doing police work.
Yeah, but he's working with hand in hand with the cop. So I was thinking maybe it's a little police work.
You know what? So if he's working hand in hand with the cop, use the cop. Because that's the category.
Yeah, but the show is
I didn't ask for the 5 favorite coroners of all time on television.
We don't even know who that cop was. We know who the show
I'm asking
who
the
the coroner
5
was.
favorite cops of all time, television cops of all time. What's wasn't the dad in Family Matters a cop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Qualifies.
All the dudes from Hawaii Five-0, right? They're all cops.
They're cops. Yes. See, I don't know what the
detectives,
I don't know what the
sheriffs.
mystery is here. Were they cops? Yes, they were cops.
Barney Fife may have been a bumbling cop, but he was a cop. He was a cop. Andy Griffith didn't do much, but he was a cop.
That's right. They're all cops.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. I don't know. It's a pretty simple category as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Tonight, by the way, not only do you have Game 7, not only do you have the NBA opening, but some big college football matchups tonight once again. New Mexico State and Louisiana Tech.
Jerry Kill's New Mexico State team has been, what are they, a win away from bowl eligibility? I think they may have 5 wins. He's a good coach.
Yeah, no, he's always been a good coach. He just always had the seizure issue and everything like that. But the dude's always been pretty successful at some tough places. He also had Liberty trying to continue their undefeated run. They're at Western Kentucky.
Okay, prediction. Liberty loses. Tyson Helton gets them. I know Tyson Helton in Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky lost last week, or give me death.
I'll take Liberty.
Give me Liberty or give me death.
I'll take Liberty.
Okay,
you could have death and Western Kentucky both.
I'm taking Western Kentucky. I hope not death, but I'm taking Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky last week lost to, was it the Fighting Rich Rodriguez's? Was it?
I don't remember who they lost to.
Jacksonville State? I think it may have been Jacksonville State.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. By the way, tonight with Game 7, Phillies and Arizona, your pitching matchup is Brandon Pfaadt for Arizona and Ranger Suarez. He goes for the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, would Ranger fall into those cop categories?
If you're a park
you be a ranger?
no,
if you're a park ranger?
I didn't ask for the 5
How about
favorite
if you're
park
a Texas
rangers.
Ranger?
That would be, I don't know. That would be a cop. I think that's what their cops are called. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Suarez is not a Texas Ranger since he's with the Phillies. He's hoping to.
You can't take anybody off the Texas Rangers. Can't take anybody off the Texas Rangers team. They're not cops.
So
they are
Dolis
Texas
Garcia
Rangers.
won't make it.
No, he's
right?
not a cop. He's a Texas Ranger, but he's not a cop. But Walker, Texas Ranger, would qualify.
He's fine.
You can do a trooper too.
You can do a trooper.
If there is a trooper.
Well, there's
not the super troopers.
No,
they're not cops.
Why can't you wait? The super troopers, they are troopers. They're cops.
I have no idea what super troopers
are. A state trooper's a cop, right?
Well, state trooper, but a super trooper.
The super troopers were state troopers, weren't they, in Washington?
I have no idea. I don't even know what super troopers are. I've just heard of them.
Oh, it's a funny show. It's a funny show.
Isn't it a cartoon? Is it a cartoon? I don't know.
No.
It's actually a movie.
Yes, it's a movie, but it was Reno, not Reno 911. What was it? What's the one with all the guys from that those movies? The Super Trooper movie. You said just television, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought they did a TV series too.
There is a TV series about cops called Reno 911. Right?
Yes, Reno.
Or no, is it? Yeah, Reno 911.
Yeah, but
that's
the guys who did Super Trooper.
There's the Brooklyn 99 or whatever too. That's a comedy one.
That's right. With well, it's off the air now, but Sandberg.
Yeah, that was cops, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But those guys who did Super Troopers, and Zach is right. It was a movie. They have a TV series. I think it's still maybe on the air, but it's about firemen. It's Tacoma something.
Yeah, Tacoma FD.
Yeah, so that wouldn't work. They work in the fire department. They're firemen. So they would not fit the category for tomorrow's 5 favorite things. Again, tomorrow, 5 favorite cops of all time. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration.
TV cops.
TV cops, not movies. TV cops. 5 favorite cops, TV cops of all time. Let me make sure I wrote down TV cops. I did. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. It's a simple call away. Brandon McCullough, 901-438-5084. He's the owner and operator of this local business, 901-438-5084. Brandon has been with us for years and years now. If you need a new roof, you need your roof checked, you have some issues, you got some leaking issues, look, it's only going to get worse. Make sure you call the experts, and that's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. They'll come over and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. Free roof inspections, folks, and you get a $100 referral fee for all new roofs. So you know somebody who needs that new roof, they end up using Pinnacle, you refer Pinnacle, get $100 from Pinnacle for that referral. 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof. All their work is satisfaction guaranteed, and they offer financing. So if you're wondering, I can't afford it, well, you can't afford not to get it fixed. And they offer different plans and options, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same-as-cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket. And they do residential and commercial roofing. So business owners, property managers, along with homeowners, if you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They also do work around the home, like carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, rotten wood repair. They can install shingles. Whatever you can't do yourself, call the experts at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Again, locally owned and operated. The number to call, 901-438-5084. Ask for Brandon. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, or go online to newroofmemphis.com. And remember, if you're driving around, don't try to write the number down. Call the station. We'll get you the number for Pinnacle. We'll get you the number for any of our sponsors. When we come back, hour 3, we'll kick things off with our Rhodes Athletic segment with Rhodes football coach Rich Duncan. That'll be followed by Blake Topmeyer from USA Today Network. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles, ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis, right on the river, with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their product. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Hey, Mid-South, you looking for a new ride that'll save you some big bucks? We got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike. A new ride that boosts 41 mpg highway and 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $229 a month, $29.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Nero EV Wind SUV? 253 miles of EPA estimated range, $269 a month, $49.99 due at signing. And 2023 Kia EV6 Wind. Get up to 134 city, 101 highway MPGE, $399 a month, $49.99 due at signing. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase. All 36-month leases and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee, Forte PE 678 6055, MSRP 21610, Nero P5017859, MSRP 41090, EV6 P5017859, MSRP 49687. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. They're still gathered around this crash on 40 eastbound just past Warford. Still some flashing lights over here. I believe one car went down in the woods. Traffic still moving coming up from the south on 55 northbound up through South Haven. Coming up from DeSoto County. It's been in pretty good shape so far on 55 going northbound into South Memphis. Hey, if you get hurt in a car crash, call 901 Attorneys right here in Memphis. They're online, 901attorneys.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this car looks great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Bodies at temple. That's why we're talking.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Their overstock sale continues at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 69 degrees, cloudy skies. We're going to have intervals of clouds and sunshine throughout the day and a high of 83. Tonight, a few clouds with a low of 64 and windy with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 82 degrees. It is Tuesday. It is time to talk some Rhodes athletics.
It's time to go inside Rhodes College Athletics on Sports 56 Mornings. Every week, a representative from Rhodes will join Greg and Eli to talk about all things Lynx. Let's go inside Rhodes Athletics now on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Just 2 weeks left to go in the football season. We've been enjoying Coach Rich Duncan for weeks now, and he's going to join us here in just a moment. But this Saturday will be the final home game for Rhodes on the gridiron, as they will take on Birmingham Southern at 1 p.m. over at Crane Field, and then a road trip to Berry College to wrap up the regular season. A crazy one last Saturday as the Lynx fell 50-49 to Hendricks, a game played at War Memorial in Little Rock, Arkansas. And again, it is great to always talk Rhodes football with Rich Duncan. He's the head football coach. You can follow him on Twitter at Coach Rich Duncan. Well, Coach, there are crazy games and there are crazy games. That one's got to be up there.
Yeah, it's one of the old times. It felt like we were playing tennis on grass, and the ball went back and forth. And it was a lot of fun if you were watching it on the live stream. Get a lot of messages after the game. The broadcast crew did a really good job, and it was a lot of fun for the fans. It wasn't so much fun for the head coach of the Lynx.
When you're in the midst of a game like that, and you're trying to figure out defensively, like what can we do to stop this team? Like, what's that like? Is it just constant adjustments? What are you trying to do to figure out how to slow a team down?
We've played really, really good defense over the last 2 years, and they caught us in a couple things that we couldn't figure out the adjustment to, and credit to them. They've got a really good coaching staff, and they were just able to get into a couple looks that we couldn't get ourselves adjusted to, and everything we tried to do didn't work. It was like when the water is leaking and you're doing everything you can to get it shut off, and it just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, last week we were talking about the great defensive effort from your game previous. So along the lines of what Eli just asked you, as the game is going on early, do you realize we're just going to have to outscore these guys? It's going to be an offensive show, and if it's not for us, we're going to have trouble winning this game.
Yeah, that was pretty evident to me the first possession. They went through us like the old saying, through a goose. But it went down fast, and I thought, oh smokes, if we don't come back and answer this score right away, we're going to be in for a long day. And to credit, our offense went right back down the field and scored. But you got to feel early that this was going to be a high scoring game, just kind of the way it was playing from the opening kick.
The obviously the positive side of it is that your offense was able to put up 49 points and kept you in this game and gave you the chance in the end to win the game. So while it was it's kind of that complementary football. There's going to be times when the offense doesn't have it, the defense has to pick them up. Defense doesn't have it, the offense has to pick them up, and the offense did in this situation.
I talked to the kids after the game. A year ago we went over there and got beat 6-0. Played unbelievable defense, couldn't put the ball in the end zone, missed 5 shots in the red zone, and this year we got beat 50-49, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the score is. It's not the offense's fault. It's not the defense's fault. Our job as a football team is to score one more than the other team, and no matter what the game is played, and we build a program that we can play in any style. If we got to get up tempo and score a lot of points, we can. Right now we prefer to slow it down a little bit, but we got in a tennis match, and we had to go score, and unfortunately we came up one short.
That's crazy. 6-0 last year
to 50-49 between the same two teams.
6 points to 99 points.
You went from a soccer match to a tennis match.
We did, absolutely.
All right, so it comes down to the wire because you guys keep battling back, and eventually you took the lead, and then they battled back. Comes down to the end. 21 seconds left in the game. You guys trail 50-43. You get a touchdown pass from Wilhelm to Barlow. You could try the extra point to tie the game up, send it in overtime, or you can go for 2. And we have talked a lot about that on this show, about coaches' reluctancy not to go for 2 points to try to win the game, especially in this situation where your defense has been pretty much spent all game long. You do decide to go for 2. Take us through your thought process and then the actual play call and what really happened on that play.
Yeah, sure. I told our offensive coordinator, Matt Cow, before we got the ball back, hey, we're going to get out and score, and we are going for 2, so make sure you got to play. We'd already expended 2 2-point conversions, and then we used one of our conversion plays to score another touchdown. So, we were into our 4th call, but we felt like it was a good call, and, it was kind of funny. We got the ball, we caught a pass, and we were first and goal at, like, the 3-yard line, and we got called for an offensive pass interference call, on a rub play. And so the ball got backed up and we were able to score a touchdown. So here we go. We called timeout after we score. We had plenty left to make sure we were on the same page because it was the fourth 2-point conversion call. And, when you start to get deep, you got to make sure that all your personnel's good. But we felt like we were good. We started the play. They called a timeout. So, you have the whole timeout. And at that point in college football now, you can't call a third. Both teams have to go play. We felt like we got a good play call off. They blitzed. We felt like we got grabbed on the throw. Receiver, it didn't get called. But that's the way it goes. And, I told our kids after the game, we didn't lose the game because they didn't make a call on the 2-point conversion. We just missed too many opportunities, both sides of the ball and special teams leading up to it, and that was the end result. But, it was a close bang, and, the official decided to pass on it, and that was the end of the game. We tried the onside kick but didn't recover it.
We've talked about this before, but you talked about the fourth 2-point. How many do you go into a game with, basically, normally about a 2-point?
Yeah, we typically go in with 7 or 8 because, we talked about this a while ago that, when you have to get to the 2-point conversion segment of overtime. And, we feel like we have a bunch of them, but you don't feel great about all 8 of them. You hope you don't get that deep, but you have some that, are kind of, hey, if we get there, this is what we got to do.
Can you run one, like, multiple times, like maybe a little slight different formation or something so it's not recognizable?
You mask them with formation, and we do that. And we didn't happen to do that Saturday, but, we got a couple plays off of plays, and, we felt like we had to play off a play to score the last one is kind of what happened. And, I think, Greg, you asked me, thought process going for it. And, hey, in a situation for our football team on Saturday night, our defense had played like crazy. We weren't able to get stops. I felt like our best chance to win the game was right then and there for the 2-point conversion. I got a lot of messages after the game, people that I know and love, and, hey, Coach, I'd have gone for it. I think it was the right decision. And, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I really don't care what y'all think. It was the right decision for us. I love you. I appreciate you supporting me. But, our kids were on board. Everybody was ready to go for 2. It just didn't work out.
In that last drive, in a game like that, especially how much are you trying to make sure, and I don't know how it worked out, but use the entire clock in that drive to make sure if you do score, they don't have the time to come back?
Yeah, we got the ball, I don't know exactly, a little over 2 minutes. We were trying not to hurry up. We were trying to make sure it was last possession, but we hit a big play. And then we hit another big play. It was a run right behind it to get it down to the 3 before the penalty. And I was worried we were going to leave too much time. The penalty actually helped us because it ate some time off the clock.
So you really concern yourself with that? See, I always think about, I know how important that is, but I always think, get the damn points.
Yeah, we were
take
trying
the
to
lead.
Score.
You know what I mean?
We were trying to score, but we knew that, hey, if you leave them a minute 30 left.
Yeah.
Especially the way this game's going.
Yeah, the way the
right?
game's playing, I don't know that we're going to get the ball back again, and they're going to have a really good chance to score. So we were not at a forensic pace. We weren't in 2-minute drill. We were moving up tempo, but we were not at the 2-minute drill speed as we tried that last drive. We knew we could. Flip side is we knew we could move the ball as well, and we felt like. We had a really good shot to win. Like I said, I told our offensive coordinator, hey, we are going to go down and score. And, we are. And that wasn't false bravado. I really felt like we'd get on the field and score.
Because in those situations, that's why I always like the chess match. Like, does the defense start calling timeouts under the assumption that the offense is going to score and we want to preserve time? So we do get the ball back. But then we don't really want to help them by giving them time. I think that chess match in those situations of how it all works is always interesting to see how coaches do it differently.
Yeah, we talked about last year's game. It was a 6-0 game. They got the ball back with about 7 minutes to go, and we never saw it again. And,
wow.
They were able to eat the last 7 minutes off the clock. And, so we were really closely managing, even though it was a different style of game. I'm really closely managing the clock and figuring out possessions, and because I knew kind of where we were there.
This may sound silly to you, but is a loss a loss? Are all losses the same?
No, you asked me this before. No,
they're
not all the same. They're not all the same.
Okay, so the players' reaction after and through practice this week preparing for Birmingham Southern, was it a tougher loss to swallow losing the way they did, or would last year's 6-0 when you really got nothing going offensively be a harder one to swallow?
Football is a unique sport. When they are different. I think offensive players and defensive players react to things differently. When you get beat 6-0, there's nobody when you walk in the locker room on offense that's going to say a word because they know they let the team down, and they know the defensive guys are the defenders of the flag, right? They're the guys that always play with their back to the wall, and you never want to let your special forces, so to speak, down. And sometimes when you lose 50-49, offensive kids don't have the same gut-wrenching feeling, even though that was a 1-point loss that the defense kind of didn't hold on to or whatever. Offensive kids look at it, well, hey, when we scored 7 touchdowns and holy smokes, we just came up a little bit short. There's a different reaction in a locker room after a game to a 6-0 to a 50-49, just because of the temperament of defensive and offensive players.
Interesting. Okay.
You on the individual front, your 2 quarterbacks combined for 361 and 6 touchdowns. You had 200-yard receivers that combined for 5 touchdowns. So certainly, again, on the offensive side, there were some outstanding individual efforts.
Yeah, there were. And we don't want to, I'm never going to gloss over that. We played really well. We've done a really good job, I think, of building a team culture that it doesn't matter who if you look across our 8 games, we've had a lot of different guys have really good football games and score, and we've built a culture where it's about what we do and not about what I do. And I'm really proud of our guys for that. And it doesn't matter at the end of the year. We'll let other people decide who they think our all-conference players are. But we want to build a program where we have 95 guys, 96 guys all pulling in the same direction, and I think we've been able to do that.
It's the rare situation, not like it's unprecedented. We've seen it in football at all levels, but not a ton of times where 2 quarterbacks are both effective as your 2 quarterbacks in Wilhelm and Reeder, both threw for 3 touchdowns, both longest touchdown throw was 41 yards. One was 16 of 22. One was 10 of 13. So I know we discussed some of this last week, but you feel so confident in the 2 that you want to use both those guys.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter which one's in the game at the end. Literally, whoever's up's up, and they both are really, really effective. And I think they cause some defense problems because of their style. They're tough to defend too. It makes our offense better, and they're both really good football players. I think on a lot of college football teams, they would be QB1, so to speak. Really happy we have them. They're great kids. They're great teammates. They cheer each other on. They both want to be out there all the time, but they also understand the deal, so I'm really happy for them.
So this week, Birmingham Southern, before you finally get your bye week, we talked about that last week.
That's right. So 3 weeks. Yeah, I misspoke. Yeah,
Birmingham Southern, what kind of game, what kind of team is this?
They were nationally ranked a year ago. We beat them at home. They had a shot to be a playoff team. They haven't had the year they've wanted. They lost their head coach after last season. He took another job. They had some players transfer. They had the nation's leading rusher a year ago, and he transferred out, and he's playing at Division II level now. They had a really tough start to their season. I think that at one point they'd lost 4 straight. They've bounced back. They've won a couple here lately, playing way better football. Statistically, we're really close to each other defensively. We're a little bit ahead of them offensively. But it'll be a tough test. I mean, obviously, we beat them at home last year and knocked them out of an opportunity to go to the playoffs to end the season. And they'll come in here ready to play.
When it's senior day, from a coaching perspective, and it's the official kind of honorary goodbye. Obviously, they're going to play another game for you, all that stuff. But what's senior day like for you from a coach's perspective?
It's an emotional day. I try to keep it as routine as I can. Mm-hmm. But, those guys have invested a lot in our program. And uniquely for me in my 30 years of coaching, this year happens to be my son's going to be one of those guys. And, that's going to be a tough one for his mom and I. We've spent the last 28 years chasing our kids around sports, and I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to coach my son. That'll be a tough moment for sure.
Well, congratulations to you and your son, your family, for that moment. It'll be a special moment. I'm curious, why do you play Birmingham Southern back-to-back years at home?
our league schedule's crazy. We're playing. We added a team to the conference, and the way the schedule got set up, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm going to bring it up at the end of the year, but we played half of our schedule at home as a repeat, and half of our schedule on the road as a repeat. And I don't know how this ended up, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You're going to play everybody in your conference. You got to play them. And, the order, sometimes you don't like it or whatever, but you got to play everybody. So what makes a difference? Go play them.
They give you the schedule. You go play it.
Yep. You go play the games. Well, like I said, 2 games, although 2 over a 3-week period with that not rare, but really, really late bye week for Rhodes. So, again, Birmingham Southern this Saturday, homecoming. Right? Homecoming or home finale?
No,
just
home
a home finale.
Home finale.
And then the week off, and then Barry on the road, which we certainly know will be a challenge. Coach will be with us next week. We'll recap the Birmingham Southern game, and then, of course, the week after he'll be on to preview the game against Barry. And then we'll wrap it all up and then get ready for basketball as we continue to feature Rhodes athletics during this time slot throughout the fall and into the winter and early spring. Coach, it's always great to have you on the program. I know it was a tough loss, but go get him this week, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
I really appreciate you guys having me. Thanks, Greg and Eli.
He is Rich Duncan. He's the Rhodes football coach. You can follow him on Twitter at Coach Rich Duncan.
This hour of the program is brought to you by Acura of Memphis, Ridgeway 385. That's where you'll find them. That's where you're going to find those beautiful Acura automobiles, new vehicles, certified pre-owned Acuras, plenty of other pre-owned vehicles as well that you'll find at Acura of Memphis. You can also find them online at AcuraofMemphis.com. Go by, take a test drive, talk to the great folks at Acura of Memphis. If you're in the market for an automobile, it's the best place to buy. Acura of Memphis.
Blake Topmeyer from USA Today Network will join us next to talk some SEC college football. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including carts. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
It doesn't matter if you're at the lake, if you're hunting, fishing, playing golf, or just playing around, Scooters Plus can hook you up with the mobility that you need. Scooters Plus has the largest vehicle and parts inventory in the Mid-South and the best service department. You can choose from ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, motorcycles, dirt bikes, trikes, scooters, and even electric bikes. Come in today to start or wrap up your holiday shopping with 25% down on Christmas layaways. Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Call Sam at 458-8843 or go online to scootersplus.us.
Roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
No matter what your past credit, no matter how much you owe on your trade, no matter if you tried to buy at another dealer and were turned down, Sunrise can get you financed. There's never been a better time to trade. Sunrise has hundreds of new vehicles and over $10 million used car inventory, specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000. Sunrise has the lowest prices and will not be undersold. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, Sunrise gets you financed when no one else can. Check out the inventory and apply online at sunrisememphis.com. The blowout going on now at all Sunrise locations, Covington, Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Gonna put the world away for a minute. Pretend I don't live in.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:25 the time. Final half hour and change on this Tuesday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Tomorrow, among our guests, Michael Cole will preview the Grizzlies, an opening day tomorrow night for the Grizz against the New Orleans Pelicans. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. Plus, we'll talk some Tigers football, Memphis Tigers football with Jonah Dillon. That'll be coming up at 7:30. 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite television cops of all time. Without further ado, time to talk some SEC football and the national football scene as well with our friend Blake Topmeyer, who joins us every other week from USA Today Network. He's their SEC columnist. You can follow him on Twitter at @BTopmeyer. Hey, Blake.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Were you at Tuscaloosa?
I was, yeah.
So, obviously a tale of two halves. Tennessee doing everything right in the first half, and then the second half, a complete domination by Alabama. What did you see? Why the domination of Alabama? What were the struggles from Tennessee all about in that second half?
Yeah, well, defensively, Alabama. I mean, they got a lot more disruptive. Nick Saban said, in the first half, Alabama was really playing to try to stop the run. Tennessee came into the game ranked number 1 in the SEC and rushing, and so I guess going in the game plan was really to focus on that. Well, then Joe Milton was in a rhythm passing. He was running. It was kind of the Joe Milton show in the first half, and so Alabama adjusted to try to get more pressure on Milton. More disruptive up front and in the passing game, and that paid off, I thought. And we've seen this from Alabama's offense, where they kind of come in fits and spurts, right? Like this is an offense that's really built around the big plays, and when the big plays aren't hitting, it can look pretty bleak. And when they are, the points come in bunches, and we saw that after halftime. I mean, very first drive of the second half, which I think really is where the game started to swing. Boom, boom. Alabama hit 2 big plays, and they were in the end zone and 75 yards in 2 plays. But I also think Alabama got more creative offensively in the second half. Like, we saw a couple jet sweeps go for big yardage. Different stuff that we didn't see in the first half, and really. I thought it was a case of Alabama digging in and the moment not being too big for them, and I think the opposite being true for Tennessee, right? Like, I think they probably felt the victory was right there in hand, and I'm not saying they packed it in, but I do think that they maybe felt the pressure of winning at Alabama. Because there is a certain type of pressure of knowing, hey, we got a chance here. All we have to do is finish them off, and the stakes kind of rise, and Tennessee folded.
Of course, if you ask their fans, they'll just say it was the officials' fault. So really, the second half was all the officials' fault. So I didn't have to worry about that. The Alabama. Here they are, still undefeated in SEC play, despite some limitations they have at the quarterback position and everything else. Is this Nick Saban's best coaching job he's done at Alabama?
We'll see what happens the next few weeks, but if he gets them to the playoff, I certainly think you'd have to say so. But I think he's done a really nice job with this team. There's no doubt, I think, that Alabama is improving. It's interesting because I sometimes have to be careful because 2 things are true. One, this is not, as I think we would all agree, this is not one of Nick Saban's best teams. I don't think it ranks probably in his top 10 of best teams. And yet, again, sometimes I have to be careful because it's like I never want to describe him as like this plucky welterweight either, because they are still loaded with talent.
Right.
Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner, you watch those guys for a few plays, and you're like, oh yeah, there's some studs on this team. But yeah, I mean, I do think two things. One, I think Saban's done a nice job with this team. Two, he's either doing a really good job of like hiding it or acting, or he's really enjoying coaching this team. I mean, we kind of heard all off season the murmurs of Saban's not real interested in this anymore. He's this thing's not for him. The evolution of college football, the NIL and everything. He's getting tired of this. I mean, we all kind of heard those murmurs in the off season, and I think Saban actually added into that narrative because, quite frankly, he was pretty, in my opinion, he was pretty insufferable in the off season. I mean, he was complaining about the effects of NIL. He was grumbling about Alabama's proposed schedule if the SEC went to 9 games. I mean, he really kind of spent a lot of the off season being like the grumpy Nick Saban. But then the games arrived, and it's like a weight has lifted off his shoulders. I mean, he's smiling, he's cracking jokes, he's got a cigar stuffed in his mouth after the game, even though he doesn't smoke. He's running, from one end of the field to the other to thank the student section. Like, again, he's either doing a good job of faking it, or I think he's having a really good time this year. And I think, I don't know if he would ever admit this, but I think he knows this isn't one of his best teams.
I was just going to say that. What you just said, Blake, I guarantee he thinks the same thing.
Yeah, he knows this isn't one of his best teams, but I think he likes the way these guys have responded to that Week 2 loss against Texas, and they're going to go into November with a chance to make the college football playoff. I don't know that they get there. I think they probably don't make the playoff. They might make it to Atlanta, though, and again, I think he knew going into this season that winning a national championship this year was pretty far-fetched. But I think he's having a lot of fun seeing just how long this team can stay in that hunt.
Yeah, we'll see how much fun he's having after that LSU game. That's one
True.
that still concerns, or I would be concerned if I was an Alabama fan. But yet, like you said, all you need is a chip in a chair. Give him a chance in Atlanta if it ends up being Georgia and Alabama, and you pull an upset and you're in the playoff. Speaking of the playoff and where things stand right now in the SEC, Ole Miss is kind of hovering around. I know they've already lost to Alabama, but how good is Ole Miss this year?
I think Ole Miss is good enough to beat all the teams they're supposed to beat, and I'm not sure if they're good enough to beat a couple of the best teams on their schedule. In some ways, that's reminiscent of their Sugar Bowl team a couple years ago.
Okay.
Like you go back and look at that season, and that was a lot of Ole Miss beating the beatable teams. Now, you do have to throw in this year, though, that they beat LSU, a pretty good LSU team. Home game, Oxford was rocking in a way it usually isn't that night, and they got a big one there. And so, yeah, I mean, I think there's tiers in the SEC. Georgia is probably on a tier of its own. I think there's maybe a really, really small tier behind Georgia where I would probably put Alabama. And even though Ole Miss beat LSU, that game's played again on a neutral field right now. I would probably pick LSU to win. So I think that's kind of a second tier. And then, I think there's the next tier. You've got probably Ole Miss and maybe even Missouri in there. So I think they're pretty good. Like, I think they're probably in that 4 or 5 range in the conference. And to their credit, again, they've beaten a lot of the teams, really all the teams that they should beat. And Lane Kiffin has done a really nice job of that throughout his tenure. I wrote earlier this season that Kiffin needs to win a big game or two here now along the way, and they responded. They beat LSU. But really, the success of his tenure there has been about beating the Arkansas and the Texas A&Ms and the Auburn. He's been pretty consistent that. I added it up the other day. He's 0-4 against Saban at Ole Miss. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that would fall in that category. you take Alabama out of the mix, and against the other 5 teams in the division, Ole Miss is 10-7 under Lane Kiffin, and obviously, it's been getting better lately. So, I think for Ole Miss, that's pretty good stuff and something to keep perspective in. You take Alabama out, going 10-7 in 4 years against everybody else in it, and that record still has a chance to improve. That's pretty good.
With Georgia, you got the rivalry game, obviously, against Florida, but not a good Florida. But then you got Missouri, you've got Ole Miss, you've got Tennessee, 3 of the better teams, I guess, within the conference. Without Brock Bowers, any concern on them losing one of those games?
Yeah, I think there should be some concern. You look at this 4-game stretch here, and I think we're going to find out whether Georgia's contender or pretender. As you said, Florida this week in the cocktail party, then Missouri, Ole Miss, and then at Tennessee. I know Tennessee is not having the season it wants and is sort of out of the division race for all realistic purposes and licking its wounds. But that game being at Neyland Stadium, I think might make it the biggest threat on Georgia's regular season schedule. I would say differently if Missouri or Ole Miss were on the road. I do sort of have a hard time seeing Georgia losing at home to one of those teams. But yeah, I mean, their schedule has been such cake to this point. I really don't think we feel like we have a great read on Georgia. At least I know I don't. And now you have the Brock Bowers injury thrown in. He's going to miss at least the next handful of games. I think we're going to find out what Georgia's made of here in these next few weeks. I know Kentucky was supposed to be like this proving game, but I don't know. I mean, this is starting to feel like a Kentucky season where they come out hot out of the gates against a mostly weak schedule, and then next thing you know, they're 7-5 in the Music City Bowl, but they really weren't that good. So I think we're going to find out here the next few weeks what Georgia's made of. I still don't know whether we'll know if they're good enough to win the national championship, but I think we'll know. Are they in that contender group, or is this just not that Georgia team? I kind of think it is that Georgia team, and yet I do feel like they could drop one in these next 4. Don't know who it's going to be. Like I said, I might pick Tennessee if I had to pick one of the 4. Wouldn't feel a lot of conviction in that. But if you told me I could have the field here, or I had to take Georgia to roll through this next stretch 4-0, that'd be really tough. I'd be on the fence on that, but I think I might lean toward taking the field and saying Georgia slips up in one of these 4.
The big narrative from the outside looking into the SEC, from outside the conference and the fans of the conference, has been, this is a bad year for the SEC. It's a down year for the SEC. Yet what we just talked about, Georgia, who knows? They could come back and win a 3rd straight national championship, which hasn't been done since the 40s. But with that said, when you look at each school individually, a lot of the schools have underachieved. The one school that has overachieved, and I don't even think it's close, and in fact, I don't think there's anybody else in the conference I would say has overachieved, but Missouri. Right?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, and Eli Drinkwitz, these conversations are sort of futile before Halloween of like who's going to be the SEC Coach of the Year. I can remember one year at this time of the year, there was some chatter on the SEC network about Jeremy Pruitt being a front runner for SEC Coach of the Year. And by the end of the season, everybody was like, Pruitt's inching toward the hot seat. So,
he's inching toward the clink. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. at this stage of the calendar, I would say, Eli Drinkwitz would be my front runner for SEC Coach of the Year for whatever that is worth. He made what's proven to be a really good hire at offensive coordinator, and he handed off the play calling duties to Kirby Moore. That's paid off. Missouri's got one of the most exciting offenses in the SEC. Brady Cook he had that offseason surgery, and we see that sometimes. And that becomes like this narrative of, the quarterback was hurt last year. That's why he was struggling. And then they come out in the next fall, and it's the same dang quarterback they were before. Well, in Brady Cook's case, that hasn't been true. He did get better after that off-season surgery, so maybe that was that shoulder was affecting him last year because he's been fantastic. Luther Burden, there was so much hype for him last year at Missouri. I don't know whether it was the expectations or just getting used to the college game or what, but that guy, he didn't really do all that much as compared to his recruiting ranking last year. Well, now he looks as a sophomore, he looks every bit of the 5-star talent.
Yes, he does.
That he was expected to be. And Cody Schrader, from my alma mater, Truman State, Division II school.
Go Truman!
He's leading, go Bulldogs, huh? He's leading the SEC in rushing. Now, is he the most talented back in the SEC? Probably not, but sometimes being a good running back, it's not always about having the most talent. I think it's about how you run. He's a very hard runner. And it's about your offensive line. Missouri's offensive line's playing really well. And defensively, they're not bad, So you add it all up, they're a tough out. I mean, this is, this isn't an 11-1 Missouri team, I don't think, but I think this is like a 9-3 type of Missouri team. They won the division in back-to-back years, 2013, 2014. And as memory serves, that 2013 group they were pretty dang good. I think that was the year they had James Franklin. They had a lot of weapons. Michael Sam. I mean, that team was loaded. I don't think this Missouri team's as good as that one. But then they won the division again the following year in what was a really down year for the East. And I want to say Missouri played in like the Citrus Bowl that year or something against Minnesota. To me, this kind of reminds me of that Missouri team. This is a team that could be good enough to play in like a Citrus Bowl and have like a 9-3 type of season.
The kind of the opposite of Drinkowitz and the offensive coordinator hire is what's happened at Arkansas. And the season has just completely gone down the drain. And now Enos out, all of this thing. How do you see this playing out at Arkansas after this Pittman back with all kinds of staff changes? How do you think this works out?
Yeah, boy. I mean, I really thought Pittman was going to make it through this, but I didn't have a 7-3 loss to Mississippi State on my dance card here. So that's made me reevaluate it, and I think he's heading to a really dangerous spot. I think he can still get through it, but I think it's going to be close. I mean, if he wins one more, he avoids that provision in his contract where his buyout gets reduced by like $5.5 million, because it's been misreported a lot of places out there that this clause is if his overall record dips below 500. It is, but it's since 2021. Mm-hmm. So the 2020 pandemic season is not included in that clause, and Arkansas went 3-7 that year. So it's just from 2021 to present date. So Pittman's record right now is still 2 games over 500 during that stretch. So he would need to lose out, or at least lose the next 3 to give Arkansas a chance to unlock that cheaper buyout. And that would include that. Looking at the schedule, that means he would need to lose to Florida International. That's probably not going to happen. He's probably, going to avoid that cheaper buyout. But maybe it just gets so bad, guys. I mean, if he goes 3-9 or something, who's to say Arkansas just doesn't stomach the $15 million that it's going to cost? I mean, I really don't think Arkansas, because that just gets rid of Pittman. You still got to get rid of the staff. I really don't think Arkansas wants to do that. I think they wanted to give this thing every chance to make it work. And so I think that's why we've seen Pittman fire Dan Enos. What Arkansas needs now, what Pittman needs, is for the offense to improve these next few weeks, to get a couple wins, and then the narrative can become Dan Enos was a really bad hire.
Yes.
Pittman deserves some blame for that, but Enos becomes the fall guy, right? Yeah. If you start showing some offensive improvement, you say, Pittman screwed up in hiring him, but this thing's salvageable. Give him another shot to hire a new coordinator in the offseason and refuel for 2024. I think that narrative becomes harder to sell if the offense still stinks these next few weeks. It makes it a harder sell that Enos is the fall guy then at that point. But that's a really good card for the struggling coach to play, is fire the coordinators and make the coordinators the fall guy. You only get to play that card once. The difference between Pittman and Jimbo Fisher. Like, Jimbo's already played that card. Pittman, he lost his coordinators last year. They left for better jobs, but he hasn't played the, I screwed up with my coordinator high. Let me fire him and get a mulligan. He hasn't played that card yet. So maybe that card is enough to save him into 2024.
I hope it works out. I think we all like Sam Pittman. That makes it harder also, I think, on an administration to want to fire a guy who's beloved by fans. But after a while, Arkansas fans are not going to accept 3-9 if it ends up being that way. So certainly it doesn't matter if you're likable or not. They're going to want you out, and we'll see if anything comes to fruition as far as a firing of Sam Pittman. Again, he's a friend of the show. We certainly hope that does not happen. Blake Topmeyer covers the SEC and covers it extremely well for USA Today Network. He's their SEC columnist. You can follow him on Twitter at @BTopmeyer. Catch him every other week during the college football season talking with us here on Sports 56 Morning. So, Blake, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
Okay, sounds good.
Take care.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, the fans still want to have a beer with Sam Pittman. They just don't want to do it with him as being the Arkansas coach.
At least, yeah, it's looking a lot like that, right?
They like him. They just don't like him as their coach anymore, is the way it's going. And it'll be interesting. As he said, though, if they do get better offensively over the next few weeks, that certainly looks a lot better for him.
It does.
And you can just go, yeah, all right, I screwed up with Dan Enos. Give me another shot at this thing.
Give me a mulligan.
See if I can find an offensive coordinator out there that can actually score more than 3 points in a game. Folks, Genesis Diamonds, so many people continue to go to Genesis Diamonds since they've been open here in Memphis, and they're blown away from the moment they walk in the door. First of all, when you walk in, just the beautiful showroom that they have, and then you see the selection of diamonds and fine jewelry, just case after case of jewelry that you could see right there in the store. The pre-owned Rolex watches, massive selection of those as well. Then it's about the service and the prices and everything else that goes with it at Genesis Diamonds. You can go see them in the Poplar Commons Shopping Center. That's at Poplar and Perkins Extended. They sit right there in the middle of that shopping center. If you are looking for engagement rings, looking for any fine jewelry, go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds. Something for every budget out there, every price point, from under $100 to thousands of dollars, everything in between, they've got it. And they don't have commission salespeople, so they're not there to pressure you into buying the most expensive thing in the store. They're there to educate you and help you become a smarter shopper when it comes to buying diamonds and fine jewelry. Genesis Diamonds, again, Poplar Commons Shopping Center, Poplar and Perkins Extended.
All right, when we come back, we'll wrap things up. Yahoo Sports has put out its level of players this year in the NBA. We'll go over some of that and then put a wrap on things, hand things off to Dave Woloshin for Wolo and Friends. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
We say all the time that above all else, Bell Tavern is Memphis's best little downtown bar. And we mean that. The food and service and atmosphere at Bell Tavern are all designed to make you feel at home. But above all else, you should know you're in a bar. And sometimes when you're in a bar, you might want something a little more special than the ice-cold beer that Bell Tavern offers. That's why there's the signature cocktails and the flights of spirits. Bourbon flights, whiskey flights, single malt scotch flights, agave flights, and even Japanese whiskey flights. All available at Bell Tavern, the bar that outbars all the other bars.
I'm Georgios. I'm the co-founder of Nutrafol. My hair started to thin. I took a pharmaceutical drug, but I suffered from sexual dysfunction. Having to choose between my hair and my health was not really a great choice. Nutrafol, the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. Keep growing at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/men.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Paid for by Nutraceutical Wellness, Inc.
If you want a deal, get to Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike, because we've got Jeep Adventure Days and Ram Power Days still going strong. If you're looking to save up to $12,000 off a new ride, we Gossett covered. Right now, take your pick. 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Summit 4-wheel drive or 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4, $12,000 off MSRP. And 2023 Wagoneer L Series 111 4x4, $10,000 $1,000 off MSRP. And if we don't have what you're looking for, Gossett can order it today. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Wagoneer PS5 64,158, MSRP 117,430. Cherokee P88 76 88.9, MSRP 80,205. Gladiator PL 509 834, MSRP 68,815. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll find only spectacular natural diamonds that will remain treasured for generations. That promise is now symbolized by the engraved Sissy signature and sapphire, representing our guarantee of extraordinary service, selection, experience, and quality. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience the Sissy's promise for yourself. Find a jeweler for a lifetime, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what-ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at Empower.com. Sponsored by Empower Personal Wealth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Season opening doubleheader in the NBA tonight. Lakers at the Nuggets, followed by the Suns at the Warriors. The Suns, according to the Shams, will more than Let me start again. Sun star Bradley Beal is unlikely to play tonight in the season opener versus the Warriors. I had no idea that Beal was dealing with a back ailment. First game of the year, and it looks like he will not play in the game between the Suns and the Warriors. So Yahoo Sports has put together levels. They're levels of players going into the 23-24 season. The first level they call the bus drivers. They're the stars of the league. They have 6 players in this level. Giannis, Steph Curry, KD, Luka, Jokic, and Tatum. Just those 6. Good with you?
Sure.
They're level 2. It says, and this is from the Yahoo Sports breakdown, their criteria breakdown. Level 2 consists of players that are the best player on a contender or an overqualified number 2 player on a championship team. Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, keep that in mind, OKC, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard. Not on that list is Ja Morant. Wouldn't Ja Morant be on that second level? He is the best player on a contender, or is now national prognostications like Yahoo Sports are looking at the Grizzlies no longer as a contender?
People are just downgrading Ja Morant because he's got a 25-game suspension.
So that's what you think it is. So I don't know why you would down. Now, the third level is best supporting actor. Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, all-stars. Then Ja Morant's on that list, as is Zion Williamson, who is healthy at least for the opener tomorrow night in Memphis. We'll see how long he stays healthy. But there's your list with Ja Morant in that third level, or on that third level, according to Yahoo Sports.
See if Zion gets in town and gets too much barbecue.
One can only hope. Because if that guy is trimmed down and in shape and ready to go and not hurt, he's explosive.
The owners of the barbecue restaurants in town could only hope that he comes by.
Do you have no hope that this guy will get it together in his career and be the star that everybody thought he would?
I mean, it's simply a health issue. I don't know if he can stay healthy or not, but if he does, he's going to be an all-star. Like he's awesome when he's on the court. It's just whether he can stay on the court. I don't know if he'll stay on the court.
Yeah, but it's not only staying healthy, and one may have to do with the other, but staying healthy, but also staying in shape. Because we've seen him where he's been, let's be honest, fat. And then we've seen him where he got hurt. Now, I don't know if the weight had anything to do with the injury. But he's slimmed down now. He looks good. We'll see if he can continue that.
If he's playing, he's going to be like, when you're not playing, when you're injured and not able to do anything, I could see where you might get fat. If you're actually out there playing and practicing or anything else, probably not going to get fat.
Yeah, but when he started his career, he was chunky.
But that's fine. He's still dominant at that.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
That's true.
His weight doesn't matter.
He was still explosive.
It's all about playing. He just has to
he
play.
can play with more weight on his bones. You're right. You're absolutely right.
The dude is an absolute force when he's actually on the court. Moving can be stressful, folks, but if you've got a move coming up, you want to make sure you get the professionals to help you so you don't have any issues, problems, anything like that comes up during the move. Don't try and do it yourself. Don't ask your friends to do it. They don't want to help you move. They may say yes, but they don't really want to do it. I'll tell you that much. And they don't care about your belongings. You got to get professionals who know what they're doing, who do this for a living, and they're going to make sure that every little thing, every little detail is taken care of for you. All your belongings are getting where they're going. No issues, no problems whatsoever. That's Black Tie Moving. Give them a call, 901-316-6196, or you can go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. They will work with you, coming up with a plan fitting both your needs and fitting your budget, and you get a no-obligation quote up front, so there's no surprises. They also give you a moving concierge available to you 24/7, so that something comes up, you got a question or anything during the process, they're there to answer the question for you. Black Tie Moving, they're the professionals. Get them on your side when you are moving. 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
That'll do it for us today on this Tuesday edition of Sports 56 Morning. Shout out to our great guests, Drew Hill, Steve Sands, Jeff Crane, Rich Duncan, and Blake Topmeyer are back bright and early tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Among our guests, Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal to talk Tigers football, plus DeMichael Cole from the CA on the Grizzlies, and Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. 5 favorite things. Get your list together, your 5 favorite television cops of all time. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is next for Eli Savoy and Zach Boyd. I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.